Captain, a log, please.
Yes, 2 seconds.
Sure.
The joy of posting everywhere. Start it. Captain's log, stardate 60039.6. The Achilles is currently close to Narendra Station after receiving a tow quite some distance after our recent endeavours with a wormhole anomaly. The ship has taken quite a bit of damage, but all in all, considering the amount of people we managed to get out of it, say it's a small price to pay. We've been tasked with trying to get the Achilles up and running as soon as possible, considering the unrest in the area from certain factions. Hopefully we can, but I would like to see if my crew can get some downtime. End log.
The U.S.S. Achilles is slowly brought in and moved into position to dock with Narendra Station. And we start our first scene on the bridge. Bookkeeping note, I am at 1 threat per character due to the low threat of the area you are in. So that is not an accident for anyone who's looking at my threat counter. That is intentional. So yeah. Lieutenant Shishishrere reports that the Achilles is fully docked and is now running off of Narendra Station power.
Thank you, Lieutenant. Let's see what a few of us, the senior staff and engineering, can get done for repairs and work with the station. Generally, all hands can have some shore leave until recalled.
Very well, Captain. Would you like me to set up rotations for that?
Please.
$30.
Yeah, 30 days.
Is it 2 per or breach?
30.
Yep, it's in the pins as well. So you're looking at an ETA of 30 days if nothing is done to speed it up. So, but that's why they want you to hurry up, because if they, like, the station would eventually fix everything, but it would take a month to do it. So it's like, yeah, your crew's gonna need to pick up the pace on it.
Oh, I can light some fires.
Oh, a little quiet there, Arthur.
Yeah, you somehow dropped back down to quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a quick dock.
So the dock will be available in a moment.
No, Ben, we're going to be here for like 30 days.
Still a quick dock.
So,
Hey, Discord, use the right mic.
No! But yeah,
All right.
Once a rotation set up from the commander, we can start working on shore leave and getting different members of senior staff to assist with repairing the ship.
all right. Focusing team dynamics here, making sure that the crew stays mentally fit as well as physically fit and everything.
Sure. I was tempted to shift it to medical, but it's largely a command thing you're doing, not a medical thing you're doing. I was tempted.
Take a threat for a die.
Sure.
I don't have any reroll here, so.
Can the computers assist?
Huh?
With 5 breaches?
Oh, you're right. Never mind. Ignore the assist from the ship. You're right.
Yeah.
We're doing this by hand.
2 momentum generated. As you're able to sort out your rotations.
All right.
Howdy, Doc.
So you've been able to get the rotations settled in. You will have a crew aboard the ship at all times, but you will also be allowing a significant portion of the crew to get off and get some leave time. Does anyone disembark the ship?
Oh, you're gonna have to peel me out of the engine room.
So Arlen's going to the engine room.
I'll leave the ship.
Brolic is going to leave the ship as well, yeah.
Yeah, so then...
Dang it. I'm trying to put the thing on there. Oh, well, we know where you're going. So Ven's leaving the ship. Frolic's leaving the ship. Pen's leaving the ship.
Yeah.
What is Ryloff doing?
Haha, I had the wrong button pressed to mute my microphone. Oh, someone wanted to talk to us so we could ask one singular question, huh?
Yeah, you and Caval can speak with the strategic operations officer on the ranger station if you wanted to learn something extra in the classified files.
Learn something at all.
So you're disembarking?
Yeah.
Okay. Lieutenant Caval, Doctor, are you staying aboard the ship while it's under repairs and to assist with it in some way, or are you going with Ryloff to ask your question of the strategic operation officer?
I'd probably go with Ryloff.
Okay. So, our first scene will go down into the engineering bay of the ship of the Achilles.
That's
You
concerning.
you step into your engine room, and you can still see, as the ship was under tow, people were working madly away to try to do what they could to try to make it easier down the line. You see that your core, thankfully, the one part of your engine that didn't go out, the one part of your ship that didn't go out was the main core. The big thing the engine's suffering from, your primary power source, is the dilithium to warp conversion. So the actual power generation is possible, but you still have like 3 major systems. One of your crew, one of your assistants informs you that station engineering has taken over power control, and you can power down for level 1 diagnostics and repairs at your leisure.
Excellent. So, wait, the engine on the sheet doesn't have any breaches. Should it have breaches, or
Nope.
is
It's
it just
one
in a
particular
special
part.
state?
It's
Okay.
in a special state where the engines still work. Because if engines were breached, you wouldn't generate power. You just don't. You have the capacity to impulse and go momentum. It's just warp that's compromised. So that part's easy to fix. The easiest part to fix is actually just, hey, we need a new part. And it's like, well, that's the easy part. The problem is the computer systems, the weapon systems, the sensor systems that are just fried out because all the power was just yanked out of them.
All right. First things first. Let's swap in the part for the warp core and get ourselves at least warp capable.
Control plus engineering. Difficulty 2. Fairly simple task. It just has to be done.
EPS systems or technical insight?
I'll take technical insight here.
All right, take a threat. Come on. There we go.
You are able to install the relevant part. The ship is capable of warp.
Okay. While we're here, let's run a level 1 diagnostic on the warp system itself. Make sure that that's operating within standard procedures.
Reason plus engineering, difficulty 1. Sorry, difficulty 2, because the computers are down.
Technical insight.
Yes.
Take a threat.
Sure.
And that's why we take threat.
All right. You have verified that the system seems to be affecting. Oh, by the way, before we get too far away, thank you for the reminder. For this mission, because it is a new adventure, the Admiralty focus can be changed from stellar cartography.
Mm-hmm. Let me check.
You don't have to, but you can.
Yeah. I just want to look. I gotta scroll back up to where I actually have those written down.
Yeah.
Because it's like I sent them to you once and then never again.
Yep. Well, they're in the dossier under U.S.S. Achilles at the top.
In the dossier.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Negotiation for this adventure.
The current Admiralty focus is negotiation.
Can I negotiate with the ship to make it feel better?
It is not a sentient starship, so unfortunately, no.
It's not a sentient starship yet.
That's true. You could certainly shackle an AI to the system against its will.
Nope, I'm not gonna do that. At least not today. That's like 3 months from now.
It worked for the Systems Alliance. That didn't blackfire on them at all. Actually, it wasn't them. It was Cerberus. But anyway. So what do you do, Chief Engineer? You know that your part is properly installed, and you are certain that the ship will, in fact, warp when you ask it to.
All right.
I mean, it is a level 1 diagnostic, so it's going to take a day minimum to verify that, but you're fairly certain that's the result you're going to get. But people are just double-checking your work.
I think the order we need to tackle this is computer, sensors, and weapons.
All right. You may perform a presence plus engineering task, difficulty of 3, to effect the repairs as you begin prioritizing the order of operations to help speed the repairs along.
Would I know my ship apply?
It would.
All right, so I get one bonus dice. Technical insight or Starfleet protocols as a focus.
Starfleet protocols do apply. Would you like any assistance from your engineers on this?
Sure. We can have Cadet Zeph help out. Give him like a task to do on the side.
Hey, Zeph's going to learn how to help repair a ship. Lucky him.
Hopefully there will be time for him to go see his mom.
Mom, I'm busy fixing a ship.
Mom.
Well, we have 30 days of short on our leave, so
Did you say this is a new adventure?
yes.
Yep.
I'm just asking because of wording.
Of what?
I shall post in Discord.
Sure. First time each adventure you introduce a supporting character. That supporting character may take one additional option to approve. Yep, that would apply here.
Okay, just like I said, just double checking on wording there.
Yep. That's why I worded it that way specifically, because I know there's powers that activate based on different
Adventures, scenes, that kind of
adventures.
stuff.
Scenes.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Zeph will assist. I have one additional dice. Let's do one threat and roll momentum for the fourth dice and a reroll. Because there's no kill like overkill.
How much that? Sorry.
What are we rolling?
One threat, one momentum.
Roger.
Because I already have a free dice from Know Your Ship.
What are we rolling?
Presence engineering is the main role. You could assist with something else, but it would have to be engineering because you're obviously helping with the
Yeah.
I
pair
think the
efforts.
cadet's not rolling presence.
How about anything but presents?
Fitness, control, insight.
Control is probably the best out of those three. Either control or insight, probably.
Can I do fitness just for running around and keeping up?
Yeah. Here,
Just
cadet,
follow
carry
it.
this. Oh God.
I think you're just the assist roll, right? No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would fabrication or structural engineering apply?
Structural engineering would totally apply here.
Okay. Well, that makes sense.
It's a learning experience. So, what you've been able to achieve thus far is you have, barring nothing else and no other extra effort on your part, you've reduced the time down to 28 days. You can reduce that by an additional 2 days per momentum you spend. You can also put threat into it as you make people work overtime.
Let's knock 6 days off that. So 3 in momentum.
So people push on, the station helps what they can, and you are madly working away in the engineering room with Cadet Zeft shadowing you and doing... he's not harming anything, but he's not really helping a lot yet. He is a cadet, so...
He's a cadet. He's helping by learning.
You could spend those remaining 2 if you want to. You know.
Who has
Is there
cautious?
anything Cadet Zeft or Lieutenant Arlen is looking into in the engine before I change the scene? Or the ship in general, because you are in the engine room, which gives you access to basically the entirety of the ship. The only part of the ship that has more control over the ship is the bridge, and even then, the engineering in a pinch could totally take it.
Not that I can think of.
Very well. We end the scene there as we check back with Narendra Station. I not have the room? Oh. It is supposed to be black, in case you're wondering. I just have to change something.
Sure.
Oh, I know what I needed. I'm making this harder on myself for no reason. Come over.
These are interesting sound effects.
Lieutenant Cavall, Lieutenant Ryloff, you are aware that Commander Hennon Lesix, the Strategic Operations Officer, is currently working in one of the command offices looking over various intelligence files. You've been directed to, you have an appointment with him, so you're able to, especially given your protests, and he's willing to hear you out and loop you in as much as he believes is necessary. In these parts of the decks, the biometric scanners go off a little more, and there's a lot less people milling around, unlike the rest of the station, since you're going into very classified parts of the station that not classified for like super secret Genesis bombs, more like, you know, there's important stuff in here we don't want just some random civvy walking into. This is the linchpin of the Narendra frontier, after all.
Or 2 Romulans.
Yeah. Starfleet seems to hold you both in high faith to let you get in this deep.
I don't know about that. I've not gained any reputation this entire time.
But it's not negative.
It's almost been negative. All right.
Now you know how it feels.
It came really close last time to both of us getting D.
And we did actually nothing wrong for once.
It almost really enforced the rule of don't report anything.
Yeah. All right. Well, shall we, Cavall? Before we change our minds. Right, well, go and press a button then. Or is it
a light blue beam of light sweeps over your bodies as the biometric scanner double checks that you are who you say you are. And the door opens.
I think we're strangely used to that, actually.
The commander turns around, looks at the two of you. There is another officer in the room who seems to be typing away. They don't even look up when you walk in. They're just busy. Lesix steps away from the controls, puts his hands behind his back to relax a little bit, and raises an eyebrow. All right, lieutenants.
Commander?
You're the one that wanted to talk to me.
We lodged complaints regarding the sudden and unexpected classification of information on a mission. In a nature of which we are familiar with. Almost concerningly familiar with.
Well, I can tell you that the primary reason for the classification is that it is a matter of the temporal prime directive that we're maintaining. So that's why the blanket classification has come into effect. But if there's any particular information you wish declassified or anything about the file that you wish clarification on, I am at liberty. I have been authorized by the Admiral to reveal minimal need to know information. Hence why I'm meeting you in person rather than having you write it out and having it officially written somewhere in contradiction to the order.
Understood, sir. Surprising, as it is. We have some idea of what went on. We were there. But I'm curious regarding what was on the Romulan core that was recovered. Indeed, why that was classified. It is 90 years old.
He moves over to a console and waves you over, and he starts typing things in, and then he points to one of the consoles, like a display.
Okay.
According to the computer readout he's showing you, it appears that Romulan vessel, part of the reason they were so far out, they were pursuing a unidentified Federation-style silhouette that appeared at a certain set of coordinates near Romulan space. But you notice that that's what the Romulan part says, and then you see there's a little annotation underneath it. U.S.S. Victoria, Centaur class, time ship. They were after us. We stumbled right into them.
Okay. So they're after the ship that contact. That is something I'm not going to think too much about. Although, so it's just happenstance they encountered the other vessel, the Awane.
The Awane happened to be in the region and caught the disruptor fire. The class of ship presented here has a unique feature that makes it hard to scan even by modern day sensor technology. It isn't a true cloak, but it is enough to fool sensors at range. So the ship simply withdrew from the area, but unfortunately not knowing that it had actually pulled the Awane and this ship into proximity, which engaged them in a battle. The fact that we both still remember this fact means that that timeline is still being maintained. So either it was supposed to happen, which temporal mechanics is a headache-inducing issue on its best day, or they're still in the process of trying to correct it if it's something to correct.
If that much makes sense, in a manner of speaking, sort of looks at Cabal. Nah. Like that's all.
She just
fairly
kind of
straightforward.
shrugs. That's not her purview.
It's straightforward enough, even with the ups and downs that temporal affairs has. Though it doesn't explain the Dominion vessel. That seems to be an entire other aspect, and I assume one that we're to be left out of.
On a mechanics question, Cabal does have a second question. You could use that second question to pry that out of him.
Mm-hmm. I'm deliberately not quite asking because it is Cabal.
Unless Cabal wanted to know about wanted something else to be declassified.
Exactly, yeah.
I don't think she cared so much about the classification so much as testing the waters to see if
We could.
putting in a complaint would get a response, negative or positive. So they probably would have discussed. She's like, I don't have anything to say to them. I was just backing you.
He'll just look at her and see if she nods then to get that
Yeah.
question.
Yeah, she'd not.
It
I
would
would
s-
repeat it, but my voice is so shitty.
He taps the person that's sitting there on the shoulder and then points up to the display screen. They nod and type something. He steps back, and displayed on the screen in front of you is a. It looks like a Dominion ship, but it looks far less. It's a weird way to put it, but it looks a lot less angular. It looks a bit smaller. Um, the readings on it indicate that it is using a chronoton-based energy system to sort of, instead of warping through space, it temporally shifts itself. So it time travels, not so much to get up and down in time, like forward in time, backward in time. It's more that it's trying to get from point A to point B without any time passing. And apparently it works. And the technology is not anything that is used on current Dominion technology known by Starfleet. And then Lesix looks over to the two of you. It would seem that we've interviewed the person who had the ship. It seems that it was a changeling who had been experimenting with a new type of drive decades ago. Unfortunately, the Dominion never really knew that he was lost. He doesn't know the Dominion War happened. He's very confused about who we are. But given the conduct of the Iwane and the Achilles, they are amenable to us. The problem is we're stuck in a position where we can't really send them back, because if we do, we risk polluting our own timeline. Because they could get information vital to Starfleet security, and the Federation as a whole. Never mind the rest of the powers in the region. So for now, they are in the care of Temporal Investigations. The ship is going to be dismantled and investigated.
Ship destroyed?
It is being dismantled and investigated.
Didn't we just... It was at the center of the wormhole. We had to destroy it to get the Achilles out.
Lesix nods a little, but doesn't say anything.
Well, sir. I don't know if you're aware, but the Romulans are still looking for that missing warbird. And any information about what happened to it and its prey. However, they did refer to that vessel they were looking for as the Iwane. At least so far as I overheard. And that was some time ago.
Do you believe the Empire is still actively looking for the ship at this time?
I'm not sure it was ever actively looking for it. More if they happened to find something because it was so old. But I could be mistaken. I was a Ulan at the time, and not exactly privy to listening to all of my superiors' conversations.
Lieutenant Koval, do you know anything about this? Since you did come from a different... My understanding is you came from a different branch of your Star Navy.
I don't think she would. Would she? She came from the medical side, like.
You can
But
give
she
me
wasn't.
Insight Medicine difficulty 3. You may have heard of something, but you're right. It'd be a long shot for you to have happened to have heard about it.
Okay. Hang on, let me get the right sheet because rolling insight medicine for Zeft is not going to be useful.
Zeph knows. How does he know? I have so
I
many
don't know.
questions now.
It was his time spent as a pirate.
Oh, yeah, that happened.
It didn't.
Not
Poor
quite.
bit.
Somehow I don't think so, but
The Mirahim did.
paranoia?
Sure.
Okay.
That's exactly what I used as well, actually.
Wait, what time in their service did this happen? Because she might not have been paranoid yet. No, she's a Romulan. They were always
Yeah.
paranoid. Okay.
It's like a base racial description.
With 2 hits, you've heard lots of things, but that wasn't one of them.
No, sir.
All right. Well, I'll bring it up with the Admiral and see if there's anything we can release to the Romulans. Frankly, we're not sure who we need to talk to right now with the Civil War as it is. It's a very precarious situation, and we don't have any standing orders on how we're supposed to deal with it other than to maintain the Prime Directive. So if they start asking, you don't know anything. If they insist, point them my direction, and I'll deal with them.
I rather doubt they would ask either of us.
Yeah,
I
if they're
wouldn't-
asking anything, we're already in trouble.
If you do get any interesting contacts from your former Navy personnel, then please inform me.
That was always the intention, sir. Having... Well, it wouldn't be the Star Navy.
No, Lieutenant, I think you misunderstand me. I mean report directly to me.
Oh. Very well, sir.
He nods.
As for a suggestion, if I may,
I'm willing to listen to new ideas because I'm running out of them at the moment.
we know where the wreckage of the Warbird is.
Mm-hmm.
Any remains that are there, returning them is a gesture, at least.
We could move ahead of them. Oh, I do not enjoy pointing that out to the Admiral, but we may have to. Well, you're a security officer. I'll ask your opinion on this. Why not? Of the 3 ships we have under our direct control, who do you think would be the best fit for a recovery and diplomatic mission? My personal bet is on the Lyton, given its profile. But do you think the Achilles might be a better fit for this? Given
Sending-
your background?
Sending the Achilles as it is, the first of its type, very much a imposing figure, might have more connotations behind it. Yes, you're returning a destroyed ship and the people that were on it from 90 years ago, and it wasn't the Achilles that did it, but it does suggest that you could do it again with this new ship.
So you're suggesting we send the Lyton?
Yes.
All right.
Also a vessel with 2 defectors acting as senior staff seems hardly appropriate.
Oh, sometimes you need to provoke someone to get a extra intelligence, but I follow. Sometimes your provoke responses you really don't want. All right, then. Your input is noted. I appreciate your concerns, and I hope that I was able to resolve your protest, unless you wish to maintain it for some reason, which you are free to do under the Starfleet Uniform Code of Justice.
We are surprised that it actually got anywhere. considering our history.
Lieutenant, you're working for Starfleet now.
Yes.
Truth is our first priority above all else.
We would be foolish if we just believed that outright and didn't test anything.
He nods. That's fair.
It is nice to have some confirmation, sir.
Won't lie to you, lieutenants. More than 5 years ago, you might have gotten a very different answer. The Federation's is back to its roots, I think. We're back to where we were. With newer toys, I'll admit, but the Dominion War is behind us. And we need to start thinking that way. Hopefully your homeland will agree with us in the long run. I certainly hope so.
So do we.
Good days, lieutenants.
Sir.
He turns back to his console and starts typing away.
Oh boy. Wait for Cabal to step out first.
Yep. I am not running away, but I am running away.
If there's nothing else, I can end the scene here.
Yep. No, I think we're just going to someplace to eat, probably.
Gotcha.
Let's just not deal with that for a second and calm
Yep.
down.
To never talk about it again?
Yep. We did what we wanted to.
Oops, way too big.
Whoa!
I have an imposing personality, I suppose.
Captain Penn, Commander Thorlick, and Cadet Ven, you have made your way to the lounge aboard one of the many lounges aboard Narendra Station. This one's specifically the Starfleet relaxed lounge. So civilians do come in here, but it's largely frequented by Starfleet personnel because it feels a little like a words
10 forward.
a lounge aboard a starship.
Mhm.
10 forward equivalent. So it looks kind of like that, so people feel a little more comfortable. But there are other rooms, there's other meeting areas and such if people want to chat elsewhere. But this has a familiar feel to people, a little retro from 5 or so years ago.
Yeah. Thralic is probably going to be trying to book some holodeck time.
Walk over to one of the attendants. Hello, how can I help you?
Looking to book maybe an hour or two of holodeck time for leave. Station ops bounce me around down here for that.
Sure. Let's see. Takes out a pad, starts typing away at it. All right. You just looking for just a holodeck, or you want a full suite? Like, how big of a adventure are you going on, or relaxation?
Planning to do some ice climbing. If that helps out at all.
Gives you a look. Do you mean like Andor ice climbing or Earth ice climbing?
And/or ice climbing.
Right. Hollow suite it is. For how long?
2 to 3 hours.
We'll give you 3 hours. We can free one up, sure. All right.
Appreciate it.
Anyone going with you?
No.
No. Okay, just one. Safeties are always on aboard station, just so you're aware. If you need a leave, if you wish to have further, you'll need approval from the admiral, just so you're aware.
Kind of pause for a second. Understood.
Yeah. Standing policy. Nothing to worry about. All right. Just put your holds out the pad. Just put your thumbprint there to lock in the biometric, so only you can open it.
So, do that.
You hear it bing, and you see, and then once it pings, they kind of they hold it out to you. Okay, you can take that with you.
Thank you.
There are a selection of. We have a few mountains already programmed in. That we bought from certain people. There are some Klingon ones that are pretty challenging as well. program number 25 has that. But if you want to have and/or specific ones, there's plenty of those in there. Programs 1 through 6 have all the big sites, but if you want to get more specific, the computer can manage. If you want to program something yourself, you'll have to you can do some programming now with the pad, and then that won't count against your time. Your time starts once you step through the door and the program activates.
All right. Any of the programs you have local to the subsector, or the sector rather?
We have a lot of imaginative, shall we say, creative, artistic interpretations of what people think is out here, but not really. No.
All right. Well then, see what the Klingons got their teeth on, and she'll start walking over in that direction, scrolling through the pad, basically.
What are Cadet Ven and Captain Penn doing?
I leave it to Penn first. Do what he wants. Ven's just sort of, Ven's just by the window, drinking a drink, just relaxing.
I think Penn would do a little bit of relaxing with a few drinks, but generally probably try and arrange some meetings over the next coming days.
Meetings with whom?
Senior staff aboard the station to get extra crew aboard the Achilles for works. Just trying to push through paperwork.
Okay. Penn, I will ask you for control or presence plus command. Difficulty of 3 to get ahead of the your paperwork and get some of this done so you don't have to worry about it later. This could produce an advantage for a future mission.
Do you know what? I'll spend my determination.
On what value?
Directive number 2. Restore the Achilles to duty ready as soon as possible.
Very good.
Yeah, to make sure people to look over your current mission directives. And I'll give you 2 threat for a 3rd.
Okay.
Focus in diplomacy.
I'll have to say no here.
Strategy and tactics.
I'll take that. You're making sure you're not pulling too hard from any one particular side or another.
We're getting 2 off that.
Next mission, you'll have the advantage of a fresh crew rotation as you spend extra bit of time making sure that you have, not only do you have people cycling out, but you actually are helping speed up some of the transfers and some equipment moves and some civilians who might go, you know what, I want to go on the Achilles. Well, I'm looking at your thing. I have the time. Sure. You can come aboard if you want, or no, you're not coming aboard. You can be the Lightens problem. No.
But yeah, apart from trying to do paperwork, probably try and spend time with a new certain Orion. But
sure, I'll rotate back to that in a moment.
Yeah, but I'll make sure none of the crew know.
Yes, so I do have one thing I will say. He won't be doing it right this second, because it won't be the first thing he does on the station. Yeah. But at some time during this break, he is going to try and get together the rest of his cadet buddies, and they're going to also have some time on the holosuite.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
And that doesn't have to be like a full scene unless someone wants to try and find Ven, in which case he'll be on the holodeck with the cadets, and then you can do something.
Presence, con, or command, difficulty of 3 to try to have some cadet time and have some fun on the holodecks.
Oh God.
Cadet time.
Presence, you say.
Hey, who wants to bring the teachers along? They're just going to get all stuffy. Ranks will have to be observed. It'll be a whole thing. But among the cadets, just us.
I've been avoiding my cadet, don't worry.
Let me see.
How's that roll for you?
Oh, it's garbage is what it is.
Would you like a fellow cadet to help you arrange for the trip? Because it's a matter of getting everyone to have the same off time at the same time, because the crew rotations have already happened. So now it's like, oh crap, we have to switch shifts to make sure we can all go.
Yeah, you might want to talk to the command cadet.
Yeah,
I was gonna say.
Wiesen?
Yeah.
Visa.
She's been doing enough of Penn's paperwork.
Damn right she has. She quits. No.
In that case, maybe we should have her lead this, because my presence command is garbage.
She's got a 14. And I think logistics might work as a focus for that.
Logistics, you say?
Yeah.
Yep.
Would you like some momentum?
Yeah, should take momentum. We'll roll 3 here. She's got 2. Oh,
There
that's
you
3.
go.
Yeah, no, you are able to give yourself and your fellow cadets for next mission. The cadets are nice and relaxed. They had a nice fun time together. What were they doing? What was your shared adventure on the holosuite?
So, Ven is particularly fond of a series of holo novels called Il Gufo, Italian for the Owl, which are a series of holo novels about a mysterious phantom thief on the streets of Venice.
Okay.
Yep, the goof and
Streets?
Huh?
Streets?
Canal. Well, Venice does have some streets.
For now.
underwater for the most part.
No, there are some streets there, but you're right. There's a lot.
Like, there are back streets.
Yeah.
By
The
that
plaza.
time, who knows?
It's just the
True.
I mean, to be fair, that place just needs to call a fucking plumber.
And then we'll look to. Actually, I should have done this roll earlier, but I wanted to see what everyone was doing. Trollic, I will have you. This sounds like a fitness roll to me.
Oh, yeah.
Fitness plus,
Definitely.
we'll call it con difficulty 3 to get a nice good climb in.
Mm.
Yep. Negotiation, because I'm negotiating the best path forward through this mountain.
I will. The mountain is not sentient, so no.
Damn. I'm shocked.
Program it to be sentient. There you go.
Well, there's that planet of rock people. You just climb them, and then they move and stuff. So you have to negotiate them to be nicer to you as you climb.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't think I have a focus for this.
God, could you imagine you're climbing a mountain that's sentient, and it's like not the whole mountain, but like bits and pieces of it are.
Mhm.
So it's not so much climbing; it's actually a massive diplomacy test while you're climbing a mountain.
Let me write this down.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, all of a sudden,
Sentient
Pit goes into wall.
mountain.
I'm going
What
to
was
spend 1 momentum and 2 threat here for 4 dice.
Okay.
Damn. I want to spend determination here?
Clearly.
I might, is the thing.
Do it.
Again, just make sure you go over mission directives first to see if you've got one.
Do I? Would Directive 2 apply here for getting through my shore leave and making sure everybody's, restored and reinvigorated?
For your climb, I would have to say no.
Yeah. I am going to spend my determination, but I'm going to have to spend it toward a value. Dare to walk on the thin ice.
Sure.
Yeah.
No? Just get out there.
Yeah. No, yeah, you can. Oh no.
Oh no!
That is
Rip.
You do get a good climb in, but wow, you end up exhausting yourself more than relaxing. It doesn't hurt you none, but whew, that's a challenging climb. That's really rough.
Wow, the Klingons really do enjoy that.
It was so
And it's
hot,
too
so
hot.
unbelievably hot.
Why is
There's a
there
bit
lava
where-
there?
Yeah, there's a bit at the top where the lava just kind of bursts out of the ice to make you challenged by the will of Kalis, and then someone shouts at you on opera for like 5 hours, and for like a couple hours, you're like, oh god, can I be done with the climb?
I think it was mostly just it was too hot.
Yeah. But new scene as we cut back to engineering aboard the Achilles. Actually, we do not go to the Achilles. My bad. We actually go to Narinder Station, where the ship side of the station side of repairs is continuing on. Lieutenant, Cadet. People start greeting you as you walk into one of the main control areas. As you see, there's various ships and shuttles. The only big Starfleet ship in dock right now is the Achilles. The rest are various Federation vessels and Klingon vessels and civil vessels and alien vessels. There's a Ferengi Marauder nearby. Like they're juggling a bunch of stuff right now, trying to make sure everyone's getting what they need and everything else. Repairing. The most damaged ship is yours, but other ships need inspections and minor repairs and so on.
Okay.
Were you able to get everything you needed there, Lieutenant? Says one of the officers.
For the most part, right now, we're just working out. We're just trying to find some time. The ever elusive, critical component.
Hmm. Did that new part come in for you? We tried to rush it to make sure your warp drive could be underway as soon as possible.
Yes, it did, and we ran and diagnostics on it. Everything seems to be working fine. But of course, I would like to run some field tests with this as soon as possible.
If you need field
tests.
Oh, go ahead.
Unfortunately, field tests are going to have to wait until I can get the rest of the ship in line. Can't exactly go to warp without sensors.
I mean, you can. You just have to be very careful with your calculations. Make sure you're warping somewhere you know where you're going, so to speak. Going off of old charts and stuff.
Yep.
Actually, if you want, we could try to see. We don't have one that's rated for your class of ship, but we could give you a sort of what's the word? Stand-in for your computer core. It wouldn't be enough for service, but it'd be enough for a field test for either your main computer system or the sensor system, and we could try to slap that together. Admiral says you're first up on the docket, so we're trying to get you move. If there's any way we can help you get moving, we'll try.
As of now, we're more worried about fixing the fried computer systems. I don't think ink swapping one in just to do a leg run and is gonna be worthwhile.
Okay. Well, is there anything we can do for you then? We try to get as much as we can, but and one of them actually turns around in their chair to look at you, to pay full attention to you. Like they're trying to make sure you're not being just forgotten. It's like, no, we are paying attention to you guys first.
Well, our sensors were also fried during that. So if you can have some crews who's working on the sensor arrays while we work on the computer arrays, maybe we can meet each other in the middle and get both systems working.
See, we do have quite a few people. I mean, if you really need it, man. See, the thing is, we'd have to shorthand some of the other repair jobs. And you're looking at a presence engineering role to get them to kind of put themselves out, but they're helping speed up your repairs.
Ooh. Okay. What's the diff?
Difficulty 3.
Do I want to burn that now? Or...
It could be command as well, but I'm assuming you're using engineering here.
Engineering would be better.
Yeah.
Do I wanna?
Oh yeah, that's right. Zeph's exchange his he's with everyone else as well. I forgot. Zeph isn't there.
I guess it depends on what day this is.
Poor Thralic.
I know my ship.
Forgot my trait.
Well, it's more the station you're helping here. Like you're trying to get them to use their people in a certain way.
But it's to help my ship.
I will read your talent. Stand by. You are not determining the source of a technical problem aboard your ship. You are trying to manage personnel aboard a station. Which does help your ship, but it doesn't help solve... You know what the problem is. You're just trying to get more manpower to get on the problem.
All right. Do I want to use that determination now, or do you think a bigger role is going to come later?
Honestly, dude, go with what you want. I spent mine early because it's like shits and giggles, so it's your call.
Yeah, let's do it. Spend determination on Directive 2.
Yep.
And I'm just going to spend 1 threat for that precious reroll. And Forte in...
Do you have to spend 2?
I have to spend 2, so it'll be 2 threat.
Okay.
And for focus in Starfleet protocols?
Yeah. You're making sure you're not accidentally grabbing people who are supposed to have time off. It's on the button. +1.
Hoping for a little more, but I'll take it.
That shaves down another 2 days off of your repair time. So you're down to 20 days remaining. Would you like to spend any threat to speed this up?
Or momentum.
Or momentum. I forgot you got a momentum. My bad.
1 momentum, 2 threat.
So 3 by 2 is 8.
6. 3.
It's
3 by
6.
2 is 6.
Well, I was testing you. You passed. 14 days.
Yes, we smart. We know number words.
The math rocks go click clack.
So yeah, you're able to get quite a people going, and yeah, you're really putting other ships at quite a bit of a disadvantage for the sake of the Achilles, but you're following your orders, and this is a Starfleet station, so Starfleet's prioritizing, unless someone is at a life or death situation, they're prioritizing the Achilles because the Admiral said so, and they're gonna do that. New scene. As you go back. Whoops, wrong one. Try again. That is still not the right one. Keep going. We'll get there.
Eventually.
So, Captain Pend, you are enjoying the company of someone important to your character, Commander Jaishu, as I understand it, yes?
Yes.
Yolan is probably enjoying the lounge, hoping for his engineering husband to be done with work. But not really paying attention to Pender Daishu. He's too busy chatting amiably with the bartenders.
Of course he is.
So,
Anyways.
Has it been busy over the last week or two?
I say so. There's a lot going on these days. I mean, just heard rumor that both ships, basically, other than you, actually got the job done for once, so that makes my life a lot easier.
Oh, charming. We did get our job done, thank you very much.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, look at these people. What a bit of piracy. Don't take up the local natives. I mean, how hard is that? Don't do it.
Well, the Prime Directive's a funny thing.
Yeah.
Any trouble on station?
Not really, no. It's been pretty quiet around. I mean, the Klingons are all riled up about something. Not entirely sure what. But seems we haven't seen hide or hair of Sugita lately, so they're still out and about.
Yeah, I think last I heard they were chasing down a kidnapped member of their house.
Well, I figured they'd be done with that by now.
You would assume, but I've seen them trying to do simple things and take hours.
It's true. Station operations to Captain Pend. Please respond.
Captain Pend isn't home right now. Please try again later.
Joshua gives you a look.
I mean, he's had to answer the badge to give the response.
Yeah. Sir?
Yes, this is Captain Pend. What can I help you with?
Yes, Commander Lesix needs to speak with you urgently.
Ah, fun. Just as I was to actually have some free time. I shall be there as soon as I can.
Thank you, sir. Station ops out. Joshua kind of tilts her head. That's strange.
Yeah.
This doesn't say anything about any other operations. You're all supposed to be off, aside from fixing the ship up anyway.
Well, more than likely something's gone to shit somewhere, so yay, yeah. I get to know about that.
If you want, I could ask the Admiral about it if it turns sideways in some weird way. I mean, I know you know him, but maybe you want to have a bit of distance and all that, depending on how much Lesix is getting you into it.
I mean, if you wish to speak to the Admiral, by all means, but generally, if I need to talk to him about anything, I'll just go up to his office and ask him.
Oh, I know, but I mean, Penn, he's an Admiral now, and it's a different world. The kind of people who talk to him changes the tenor of what the station is. I mean, that's half my job, is making sure that we don't look like we're overly favoring Starfleet ships over everyone else. I mean, that's what the old Ranger station used to do. They didn't look out for people not wearing the uniform. They looked out uniform first, everyone else second. We're trying to be the station for everybody, especially the Klingons, since, well, frankly, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have the station back.
Well, we can continue making sure it's a station for everyone, but there's no harm in me speaking to a long-time colleague in private.
Well, you do you, Pen. I'm just saying, everyone, there are lots of eyes on the Admiral, and not too many on you right now, and I hope you keep it that way. If nothing, to make my job easier.
Well, and here's me wanting to give you more work to do.
Oh, fun, thank you, I appreciate it.
Hey, join the club.
Yeah.
But, yes, I suppose I should head off and see what trouble I need to go get in.
Have fun.
I shall certainly try. And I'll, just squeeze a hand and head off.
There we are.
You see, that's what a functional relationship looks like.
You don't get to say that.
Exactly. Exactly.
You wouldn't know.
Exactly. That's why I said it.
Honestly, if Grennan knew about that relationship, he would have so much fun trying to torture Pend.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Yup.
That's why he makes sure no one sees him.
Because he specifically does not want Grennan to know.
Or his crew.
So, Pend has entered into the more classified sections of the starbase.
I'll go to the door and give it a chime.
The door just swings open the minute you approach.
Ooh, I'm expected.
Captain?
Commander, how can I be of service today?
Yeah, sorry to pull you off your time off, but we have an issue.
Tell me something we don't usually have.
He types onto his panel, and he points up at the screen, and you see what appears to be a shuttlecraft, Type 9 to be specific.
Do we have a registry?
Tiananmen 02.
This is a shuttle from the Tiananmen.
He nods.
Coming here?
It is requesting permission to beam aboard one of their ambassadors from the Tri-Polity. A Chancellor Tyr Altera, formerly a lieutenant in Starfleet.
Used to be an engineer?
Oh, for her. Fucker.
I would like you to meet with her and see what exactly she's here about. This is the first time we've heard anything from the Tri-Polity, and I know the investigative information that you know, but for now, that isn't public knowledge. And if they're willing to tip their hand at us, then I'd rather let them, rather than go through the whole rigmarole of immediately detaining her. Because frankly, at this point, if we arrest her or get too hostile too quickly, we can antagonize what has been otherwise a neutral faction for the last 5 years.
I mean, you do realize I don't have the best relationship with the Tri-Polity from our previous interactions?
The Admiral said that you have a way of making diplomatic problems go away.
That's not always a good thing.
Well, alternative is, I mean, if you think you're not the best fit for it, we could pull someone else within your crew. Because I'll be honest with you, Captain, I don't have the Lighten or the Karak here. You are the most qualified people, and frankly, if they mean well and they actually do want to open up formal diplomatic relations, then I will certainly put an appointment with them with the Admiral. Until then, I'd rather someone else buffer the negotiations and check that this is a legitimate move, because I mean the kind of stuff we have on them about the kidnappings, dealing with pirates, these are major accusations that I would rather didn't get bandied around the admiral. I'd rather be done by someone a little more. He hesitates. You can tell you can tell he's not saying something to your face because you outrank him.
Commander, I'm not going to be insulted. Just say what you need to bloody say.
As blunt as a Klingon's forehead.
Sure, I've been called worse. Look, I'll meet with them, but I don't want to do it alone. Have we got anyone who's good at reading people as a precaution?
He types out the screen. Is there anyone from your support staff that you're pulling? Because he's pulling from your resources, not the station resources. He's making it your problem. The benefits of being the strategic operation officer. He doesn't have to deal with this stuff.
I mean, Thralic literally has ESP. If you want to call in your XO.
Yeah, sure.
You've got 2 Romulans with paranoia and a Betazoid. You've got options.
Yeah.
Sure, screw it. I would like... Could you get in contact with my XO and my chief of security, please?
Well,
Do you want to summon them here and have a chat? Or... Because this is the most secure place to talk about stuff like this.
Sure. Why not? Let's drag them from the things they're enjoying to do this.
He taps the person on the shoulder. They nod and type at it. Thralic and Rylov get a Commander Lesix needs to speak with you urgently message.
Rylov's like, I was just there.
Fleet looks at Caval like, yours didn't go off. Oh no.
I'm not coming back. Farewell.
Time for the execution chamber.
Oh, well, she'll end up knowing anyway. But yeah, he'll go.
Yeah. No, Thralic will
The throne
probably.
will
Yeah.
Commander.
Counter Rylov sometime on the way up.
Yeah.
So how
Right, stop
Caval
at the
winds
same
up with
check.
all of the it's just like, how does this keep happening?
Lieutenant.
Commander, I'm assuming you are as in the dark as I am at this time.
Yeah, at the moment, it's Essex is strategic. Yeah.
Yes. I was just speaking with him earlier. And I'm still clueless.
Inspiring, Lieutenant. Well then, shall we head in?
Yes. After you walk past
Yeah.
them because you're the ranking officer.
I will note that the door doesn't automatically open for Thralic. It actually scans you like it would Rylov. But eventually you're let in once it verifies that you're real.
The door wouldn't goddamn dare scan me.
Don't worry, you're verified.
Sirs.
Captain, Commander.
Your signal has a little check mark next to it.
Got the blue Twitter check mark. Let's go.
little blue check mark on the badge.
He's verified as a real person.
This is canon.
Commander, Lieutenant?
So, as you can see on the screen behind me, we are receiving a request from a ambassador of the Tri-Polity to come aboard.
This is the same Tri-Polity that just tried to kidnap our officers, correct?
And other things, but yes.
Rock's antenna point acutely forward. That. Very attentive now.
Considering they haven't openly done anything hostile towards the Federation, and we're definitely not going to bring it up in a possible meeting. We want to try and get an idea of what they want, and see if we can keep a peaceful and happy relationship, possibly. And to that end, I have been requested by the commander to talk with the ambassador, and I'd like you two to accompany me.
Very well, sir.
Any specific mission briefs for the two of us, Captain, or do you just want additional diplomatic support?
Primarily, this is we'll go into this as a fact finding, see what they want, try and glean any information. But the reason why I chose you two specifically is, while I'm good at taking information and coming up with the end solutions, my faith in you two at gleaning insights as we're going, that's what I'm looking for.
Which class of vessel does that ship come from? That shuttle?
The Tiananmen is a Kira class, I believe.
I was just making sure it was not the Galaxy class, that we've heard reports of being cloaked. Although I wouldn't be surprised if they'd cloak an Akira, if possible. Which means it might be here at the moment if things go sideways. That'd be a very Romulan tactic.
Yeah, just look over to the commander.
Commander Lesix looks at Pend and Thralic for a moment. Has he been briefed?
On what the Tri-Polity is?
No. On the current bulletins?
What,
Insight Command difficulty 2. He's hinting at something.
what is this from the mission directives?
Nope,
That's
from the
from
Fleet
the
Command bulletins.
reports. Yeah, report 2.
Did I just say something very accurate? Or
We haven't had an we haven't had an Achilles all senior staff briefing since the bulletin came out. No.
Ah. Well, I will comment no further then and leave that to your discretion. Unless you wish me to brief him, sir.
raised eyebrow.
I'm just looking over the report too.
We may as well go over it here. I
Yeah.
think it may be pertinent.
Yeah, would you care to brief the lieutenant then?
So, Lieutenant Roloff, I'm advising you that the type of cloak that they're using is not Romulan or Klingon in make. It is Federation. That Galaxy class is outfitted with a phase cloak system.
Concerning.
Which is also the technology I used to create the quantum phase torpedoes.
I was not exactly aware that the Federation had cloaking technology.
We don't.
The original technology, when it was first discovered by the U.S.S. Enterprise D, was incomplete. It had failure issues that could imperil the entire crew. It would seem that someone within the Tri-Polity continued the work and finished it, and have have an operational phase cloak, which, according to our intelligence, was enough to actually stymie the Subgita fleet. They are experimenting to see if a triphasic torpedo would be. They theorize it should be able to do damage, but they haven't hit one of their ships yet under phase cloak.
I'm pretty sure one of my torpedoes got hit him.
Wouldn't bet my life on it if I were you, sir. We're talking about information that we don't have. They may have done something different with their face cloak that we don't know about.
Well,
I assume detecting it is somewhat different then.
Yes, the principle of the phase cloak is almost entirely different than that of a traditional cloaking device as employed by either the Romulan Star Navy or Klingons. Someone had the bright idea, 15 years back, 30, to reinvent the wheel as a way of trying to circumvent certain treaties that the Federation is under. It didn't end well.
Very well.
That information is
And
need to know, so don't bandy that around too much there, Lieutenant, unless you are authorized otherwise.
Of course, sir.
Thank you.
well, yes, as it stands, well, let's focus on this meeting. Let's find out what they want. Let's not mention what we know of what we've found out about them, such as the fishes of fortune and other items. And if it seems on the up and up, we can then put recommendations into the Admiral or go a different route.
makes sense, sir. This ship is on approach right now.
It is sitting within transporter range. It's just waiting for clearance.
Out of curiosity, how long was Ops tracking the shuttle before it made contact?
They made contact with the vessel. He turns around, starts typing. They spotted it on long-range sensors about 15 minutes ago. They hailed it to verify its identification, and it gave a proper Starfleet protocol, downright diplomatic core of the Federation style of greeting, identifying itself, its crew, its complement, and its mission. Altera was a bit of a jurist in her time with Starfleet, it seems.
Got it. Thank you, Commander.
So, let's go down to... Well, which transporter bay would you recommend, Commander?
10 is a good one to meet at. Nice and far away, but not so far away we're possibly insulting them.
Could you set up some discreet security between there and a diplomatic suite?
Presence command. Oh, sorry. That's incorrect. Security difficulty of 3. Actually, you know what? I have some threat. Let's up it to 4 because you have to understand that this person was a veteran Starfleet officer, so they might know things that you might want to have to account for.
Would you take command?
You're deploying security in a very particular way. You could assist with command, but the primary is security.
Yeah, probably want to assist if someone wanted to take point.
Lezik will gladly assist with this, though, because he's obviously pointing out things he can help with and so on.
Do you want me to lead this, or you want Thralic to lead this?
Whoever wishes to.
I think we've both got 14s.
Yeah, we both got a 14 here. I'll take it, I guess.
Yeah.
I have nominally more authority over station stuff here.
And the lieutenant, it's just like...
Yeah. Strategy and tactics for focus here?
Yep.
All right.
Paranoia.
Yeah.
If I'm
Yeah.
assisting, especially.
Yeah, with the assist, I'm just gonna roll 2 dice here, I think.
I'm just going to make mine a crit with a medal.
I think paranoia for an assist made too much sense.
Hmm.
No, we consider this and this. But what if they do this?
1, 2, 3, 4 on the button, plus 2. Actually, 2 more. So you actually have
6.
2 that you generated.
Mhm.
Yeah, you have established a secure pathway to the diplomatic suites from the transporter room.
Let's get this over and done with so we can go back to whatever free time activities we were having.
I'll
Yeah.
keep an eye out. I'm gonna advise the admiral to go on a quiet yellow alert and keep an eye out for any phase cloak ships.
If need be, you can have access to the hoplite detail to station around, just as a precaution.
I'll take you up on that, Captain.
Because the last thing we need to do is, if they are out there and do decide to become aggressive, is to be caught completely with our pants down station side.
Should I have my communicator on one way, so anyone here would be able to hear what is being said?
That would be, if detected or noticed, could be construed as a hostile act of bugging or otherwise trying to record information. If your captain authorizes it, then you totally could, but it is a regulation violation.
Don't worry.
Technically speaking.
I've got an idea to cover that. Don't worry about it, Lieutenant.
On board station, it also shouldn't be necessary. If need be, internal security can tap into.
Very well. So,
Yeah, we'll be having a general idea of where you are on the station anyway, but listening in or recording the conversation can be a diplomatic incident if found out. But I leave that to your captain. Yeah, I'm leaving this as his lead on this. We're just assisting with the matter.
Yeah, for now, let's hold off on that. Depending on how amicable they wish to be or pretend to be, we can probably just get them to agree to make this a recorded conversation.
very well.
But, yes. Let's go to Transporter Bay 10.
On your lead, sir.
How's that? Heading off.
Waiting for the commander, because it's like, yep.
Oh, yeah. Also.
A very hierarchical thing.
We definitely didn't used to do that on the Kismet.
No.
Right, dismissed. Everyone just leaves.
Definitely not Varder.
Zoom. Where'd everyone go?
Ma'am, that is pineapple and you are a cat. Do not.
But
But it's made
New
of yum.
scene. Do you bring along any support as well to help you with this, or are you fine on your own?
do we wish to have some support characters with us?
Yep, that's an open invite to the others whose main characters aren't here.
I mean, we even have an ambassador civilian.
Ew. Ambassador Simba.
Oh, please don't bring a Vulcan. Please stop doing this to me.
I'm good playing whoever. Might be nice to finally have a command score again.
Yeah, just don't pick a certain command officer, please.
Maybe Yolan can go along. No.
No, actually, like having Ambassador Long might make
Senva's
sense.
actually a good choice, yeah.
But, yeah.
I just keep on having to do things with full.
I'll
Right.
I'll grab a security officer.
Which one? There's 3.
Uh,
Grab the Klingon.
checking.
Make Krylov uncomfortable.
I don't know how
I was
appropriate the Klingon
thinking
actually is in this situation.
Yeah, I was thinking on focuses.
Well,
I mean,
not as in focuses, as in he is a liaison officer or a transfer officer.
I mean,
Mhm.
to be
Or,
fair,
what is it, a
we're,
cultural exchange officer. So.
we're dealing with the Tri-Polity, and so far we've got a Tellarite, an Andorian, a Romulan, a Vulcan.
I
Yeah.
could bring the hoplite. Kino.
And a Bajoran.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, she's Trill, sorry. And a Trill.
Yeah.
Anyone else want to come?
I'm actually okay with sitting out unless you guys really want me.
Because of your throat.
I could.
No.
Yeah.
That's
That's
fair.
fine.
Aw.
Rip.
Okay.
But yeah, if that's the case, start heading into the transporter room. Well, Chief, bring him aboard.
That's the ambassador and Kino just waiting outside.
I mean,
Actually, that would make sense.
yeah, Kino's securing the route, and the ambassador is there to welcome them to the station.
The ambassador is also like technically more important than a captain or a commander in some senses. So
And a human woman materializes onto the pad, dressed in very Betazoid influenced regalia, indicating a person of rank but not of nobility. But you can see hints of Romulan and Klingon aesthetic added to it. It looks a little. It is armored. It is protected. It's showing that this person is someone that she is armed with a disruptor pistol at one hip and a duck tang on the other. But you also see at her belt there's a tricorder. It's a little modified from Starfleet issue. Either that's the standard issue that Tri-Polity uses, or that's her personal carry. You notice also in her ear she has what appears to be some sort of communication earpiece rather than a comm badge. And you actually see she has an engineering kit strapped to her back. She just kind of, shoulders it a bit, which kind of breaks the ambassadorial image she's going for, because she looks like an ambassador who's about to go on an engineering job any second.
Well, Ambassador, are you looking to take over the station anytime soon?
No, Captain, I am not. I am Chancellor Tilar Terra, representative of Lord Roland Starrix of the Tri-Polity.
Lord Starrix,
Unless he's been stripped of it by Betazoid against the laws of the Federation or the traditions of Betazoid, he is a lord and should be
Sure.
respected as such.
Well, luckily I'm not talking to him today, and I'm talking to you.
You are.
So, I'll ask as a politeness, would you be willing to hand over your disruptor and your detang?
I'm willing to hand over the disruptor. I am advised by the Klingons I represent to not give you the tang, but I swear to you, how's it go? I swear to you that it will be only used in defense of my personal honor and the honor of the Tri-Polity if directly threatened. Translation, if someone tries to punch me in the face, I'm allowed to stab them, but honestly, I expect Starfleet to not let me get jumped while I'm aboard your station, so... As for the disruptor, the Romulans really wanted me to be armed in case you tried to kidnap me. I told them you weren't going to, but I brought it. I don't have to hang on to it. There's no Romulan coda that requires me to do such.
No.
Well, you can keep hold of it as far as I'm concerned. Just know if you do suddenly get the urge to go on a murder spree, I doubt you'll get very far.
Yeah, no. I didn't think so. I doubt Starfleet's gotten that complacent.
Also, you'd probably dealing with the wrong people if you wanted to go that route.
Who am I dealing with, by the way?
You are dealing with Captain Pend of the U.S.S. Achilles. We've met before, remember?
We have?
Yes, when I was riddled with crystals aboard the Tiananmen, when you held control of the station.
She tilts her head. That was you. Oh, I'm
That
sorry.
was me,
wow,
yes.
that was. Huh? You looked a little. Well, you did have a lot of crystals in you. Sorry about that. That was very rude of me. I apologize.
Before then.
Yes, if you also do a little bit of research, I was also Aslan's adoptive son.
Right.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, that's Starfleet's choosing the diplomats interestingly, but then again, so is the Tri-Polity, so I can't exactly critique them too hardly. Who's with you, sir?
I'll just put my hand towards them both and allow them to introduce themselves.
Commander Sheath Trolloc of Andoria. Captain Penn's executive officer.
Pleasure to meet you.
Lieutenant Rylov of Romulus.
Huh. Are you forgive me for asking, but are you a liaison officer, Lieutenant?
No.
I will leave that alone. Very well. All right. I assume you don't want to talk here on the transporter pad, but your station.
No, we have arranged a diplomatic suite. Also,
Okay.
as a or not a warning, but as a heads up, we do have another security officer outside and an Vulcan ambassador. They will be joining us for our walk to the diplomatic suite and joining us for our discussions.
Sure. That's fine by me. Just so you're aware, full disclosure, this earpiece is linked to my shuttle. Please don't jam that. It's maintaining my security. It is making sure that I'm fine. If something happens to me, it's going to report that something happened to me. That's a security precaution for my protection. Not so much I think you're going to do anything. It's more that there's other factions in this area that I need to be wary of. So, and I need to take some steps to protect myself.
Very well.
But I won't be using the shuttle for anything unless it's to beam me out. But I don't think we're at a stage where I need to be in a hurry to retreat. So, better to be safe than sorry, though.
That's perfectly fine. Don't worry, the station won't jam any communications.
Okay.
With that being said, if it does happen, just note that it is not us. We don't wish to ruin a possibility of a good relationship, considering we have a relative neutral relationship right now.
That's the official stance. Huh. Well, that's good news. All right. Feel free to lead on.
And I'll...
wait a minute. I'm the VIP. Sorry. Do you want me to go ahead of you, or do you want me to stay in the back? I'm not sure of your current VIP protocol.
If you wish to walk aside the lieutenant, and you can walk between us, the ambassador, and we'll walk you to the diplomatic suite. Just as a precaution that no one gets any funny ideas.
Yeah, exactly. Sure, that's fine. Lieutenant?
Ambassador?
Altera's fine, please.
That is more or less the order that we're currently in.
Yeah.
Basically, like walk in a group of 6 to the diplomatic suite.
I'm going to take a wild guess and say hello, Senior Chief, and hello, Ambassador.
I'm just standing coolly watching the situation.
Exactly the same. It's Vulcan. I mean,
Ambassador means speaking.
Yeah.
You could snub
Or
her.
at least nodding.
yes, it's the Vulcan. It's the Vulcan nod of acknowledgement. They do that.
Yep. Altara just nods back, like, oh, yeah, she nods because she recognizes. Oh, she was in Starfleet. She served with Vulcans before. She's like, oh, yep, that's a Vulcan. That's the most I'm getting out of her for now.
Yeah, I'll just make the comment standing behind her. Yes, when the angry Tellarite is the most diplomatic in the party, we all should be worried.
Oh no, I'll start worrying when Klingons get all happy-go-lucky.
Hey, we've got Klingons on our ship as well. Don't want to bring them? Make it a full party?
Don't want to talk about Klingons, right? Thrall just mutters very, very quietly under her breath.
So let's head to the diplomatic suites.
Lead on, Chief Petty Officer.
Give me Insight Security. Difficulty 2 to make sure no one's, double checking for any traps or anyone walking in a suspicious way. You're just keeping an eye out for anything that might be dangerous to your party. Last thing you need is to have your VIPs jumped because you have 3 ranking people in the room and you want none of them to get hurt.
I feel sorry for the poor fool who tries to jump this crew.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if I go with that and use the trait of Romulan.
Since we are in close quarters, can I use the focus close quarters combat?
You could actually, yep.
And take a threat for that bold security.
Sure.
Yep, that's pretty good roll.
Yeah, half
I'll
decent.
take it.
Yeah. You are relatively sure that no one is trying to intercept you. There are a couple of people who quickly like combat and go, section so and so. But 2 individuals stopped at corridor A, turned them around, no issues, that sort of thing. So you get some people who happen to be walking into the secure corridor, and then we're like, huh? Why can't I keep going this way? Because it's secure. Please go away. Okay. And away they went.
Or just please wait 5 minutes even.
Yeah, it's like, just wait here for a second. It's fine. There was one Klingon who's a little agitated, but the report comes back that the Klingon wasn't trying to get by them to do anything. They were just offended that they were stopped. And it's like, we got it. We're fine. Situation normal.
Klingon.
Continue on your way.
God, Klingons and their feelings getting hurt all the time.
Yeah.
Oops, I did not grab the party. That would be important to do. Copy. Oops. I just have to make you guys a little smaller. It's been a while since I've been aboard Narendra.
Yeah, I think the last time you were probably aboard Narendra, it was when I was burning people and spacing people, and there was a big battle aboard.
No, we were there for a little bit longer after that. We were there for about, I want to say 6 months before we had to take off.
Any particular reason? Because I know the Klingons turned up and gave it back to us.
That's part of why I'm here. We can discuss how much information we're sharing over the matter.
You say that, but you've already told us you left 6 months later.
I'm not telling you why I did, though.
Keynote
I'm just
to the
being...
far door.
If you don't mind. And she reaches to her tricorder and flips it open.
Sure, go ahead.
Altera would use 2 threat in this case to quash. All right, we're fine. And she takes a seat.
I'll sit
She
across.
puts her tricorder away.
considering this will be our first official meeting after such a extended period of time between the Tri-Polity and the Federation, would you mind if we recorded the meeting?
Yes.
Yes, as in you don't mind, or yes, you don't want us to? Yes is a very open response.
I'm glad you asked. I'd rather you didn't record this for now, since I am not having a formal meeting with your admiral, and I get the feeling that you've been ordered to feel me out.
That would be a possible reason. Well, very well. Commander, Lieutenant, would you care to take a seat, or do you wish to stand for the entire meeting?
No, Thralik did take the seat.
Yeah, she's on a seat.
Yeah.
Ryloth's just standing by the door, mirroring the other security officer. So
Fair enough. Well then, let's begin. To what do we owe this pleasure?
I am here on behalf of my lord Roland Sarix to formally request the assistance of the United Federation of Planets and its Starfleet in a matter of mercy, and to advise you of a strategic situation that may be to your benefit to intervene. However, I recognize the Prime Directive may preclude you from doing so, but I wish to advise you of it anyway, in the spirit of goodwill.
Well, could we hear what this request is?
Firstly, we would like your assistance in dealing with a medical crisis that is happening within the Narendra-Shackleton sector. See, we have become apprised of a situation that is... Well, I'll drop a bit of the diplomatic ease, but to put it more plainly, there is a bit of an outbreak that has occurred within a certain star cluster that we were trading with recently. We would normally try to provide assistance as best we can. However, we are otherwise unable to assist in the matter, but they are a friendly group of worlds that we would rather see help got to them sooner rather than later. And I believe that the best people to deal with the matter, rather than the squabbling Romulan Empire and the rather distracted Klingon Empire, I believe that Starfleet is the best, or rather we believe that Starfleet is the best solution to the problem.
Can you give any more details on what this outbreak is, or why you're unable to help them, considering you've been working with them for the last how long?
I certainly can. She reaches into, she puts her engineer bag with a big thunk onto the table, again breaking the ambassador mystique here, because it's like a greasehead who's dressed up as an ambassador. Starts digging through it. Here it is. She takes out the pad and she holds it up, and then she looks at the ambassador, looks at Pend. You?
I believe the ambassador is probably deep in concentration right now. Maybe
Okay.
I'll have a look at it first and pass it over.
She kind of gives it a light little toss and lets it clatter in front of you.
And I shall look over the pad.
It's a mine. No,
I stamp on it.
I stamp on it. Give me a reason plus medicine roll. Difficulty of 5.
Well, fuck you
Understand what you're reading.
This is a spite you roll.
Yeah, this is exactly what it is. Well, mental imaging kicks in because this is a reason roll, so I get a reroll.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have this much that I have to do something with it.
Oh no, it's fair.
Roll.
let's try for some traits. Tellarite?
No. Worth asking, though.
Tried and tested. This isn't my first medical report I'm reading.
Being very tried by this medical report.
Yeah, it's testing my patience, is what it's doing.
I will take it because you have 2 in medicine, so I'm presuming you've done you've been part of medical missions before in your career, so.
Oh, cool.
So you know how to read a report. You may not be a doctor, but you can read, what some of the words are. Some of the jargon is what I mean.
Once again, that's the door.
Honestly, I wasn't expecting it to get away with any of the traits, so I'll take that as a win. Focus in mental prowess.
Yep.
So it's now a diff 4, unless you wish to spend to make it back to diff 5.
No, I'm good.
Okay. I'm going to roll 3 challenge dice. Because I can.
Oops, I muted the wrong one.
You get 2. I'm going to spend 3 momentum. Because I can. Waha!
Hey, there you go.
We gain that momentum back. That's definitely more than I thought I'd get.
Where the fudge are? There you are. Actually, I should do this. It's a little faster.
Yeah, the one time we don't think about bringing a medical officer and he gives us a diff 5 medicine roll.
Oh, I thought about it.
Hey, the Klingons could have dealt with this. They just didn't.
I mean, to be fair, it's the Klingons.
Oh. We're going to get an earful from Oda about that when he watches this episode.
What you're looking at is what little information we're able to get from our allies in that region, or our contacts to be more exact. Allies is a very strong word, but the problem is that at some point within the last month, they have had a sudden outbreak of this chronic Prashu flu, and it has basically paralyzed all trade within the star systems. And the thing is, they don't have a unified. The cluster of stars does not have a unified government of any kind. They're more of a trade federation of sorts, a very loose one at that. Normally, we would deploy some sort of medical mission out to them, but as I said, there's not a whole lot we can do. So we would hope that the Federation would be able to aid people in need. They would have asked you for this information, but they are under quarantine. They cannot leave their region of space for fear of spreading the disease. They've actually gone so far as to put out warning buoys, but they did contact us over subspace. They had no diplomatic relations with the Federation, so they talked to us first. And actually, frankly, we have a better relation with them than you do. Not that you did anything wrong, you just haven't met them yet, so that's probably why they don't even know how to talk to you. They know you exist. Rumors of the Federation poking around in the Shackleton is known. We've already known of your presence for the past 5 years. It's just no one's really reached out back to you. Partially because we told them not to talk to you.
Oh, thank you very much for that.
You're welcome.
Well, I don't see it being an issue for the Federation offering aid, as long as we get the coordinates to where this is. So
Yep. It should be on the subdirectory file. You'll need to convert it to your local charts. I'm not privy to your star charts, so I don't know exactly what your charts are.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to show them to me.
I don't think we're best friends as
Yeah,
of
no.
this second.
That's fair. That's entirely fair.
But yeah, like I said, this is something if brought to. I don't see the Admiral having too much of an issue with going ahead and helping.
Mm-hmm.
And you mentioned there was another issue?
Yes, I wanted to inform you that there is... I'm only authorized to say so much. But I can tell you that it has come to our attention that there is a splinter group of the Tri-Polity that holds the Admiral Azalon Shishishrir's ideals as the proper way for the Tri-Polity to act, and we believe that they will be making maneuvers to perform hostile actions against either the Federation, the Romulan Star Empire, or the Klingon Empire. I am also to tell you that any attacks that are done, we officially have no warlike intentions with any of the great powers within the Beta and Alpha quadrants, simply because we have other matters to attend to. That, frankly, if we are not interested in engaging in a war on two fronts. So anyone who is turning in your direction is in direct violation of Lord Starrex's direct decrees and a violation of our laws. So if they are found in violation, feel free to treat them as pirates. If you wish to turn them over to us, we will gladly punish them within our laws, but you are also free to deal with them as see fit. You will not feel any diplomatic wrath from us. We have no interest in protecting rebels.
What do you mean, a group following Azalon's teachings? She wasn't in charge of the Tri-Polity that long, and it's been 5 years.
The Tri-Polity was masterminded by Azalon. She was the architect of its entire design. It was the people after her who saw her downfall that had to pick up the pieces of her failed experiment and make it into something other than a fascistic, authoritarian conquering machine. Instead, preparing us...
But you suggest that this Azalon's influence is in the Tri-Polity's very DNA, as it were.
Starrix and I have worked tirelessly to ensure that the Tri-Polity is not a group of thugs and bullies. That is not the goal of the Tri-Polity. That is not what we were formed on. Azalon fooled everyone to thinking that we were the guardians of the galaxy, the last bulwark against threats like the Borg or the Dominion. Instead, she was building her own private army to exact control via the any means necessary coda. Hence the abuse of the Kashoan people, hence the abuse of various Klingon, Federation, and Romulan peoples. Frankly, we are better off without her and her ilk. No offense, Captain Pent.
People have said worse things. I'm not going to get offended so easily.
But these idiots think that they can go about with their starships and pick fights with some of the greatest powers in the galaxy because they believe in it. The problem is that they seem that level of confidence, the people that are dumb enough to be caught, we already caught. So the people that are coming after you, they wouldn't move if they didn't think they had something. They wouldn't attack any of you if they didn't think they had something to gain or some advantage. The problem is we don't know what that is. And if we did, I would tell you right now, because frankly, the sooner they're out of the picture, the sooner I stop having to worry about them.
Well, we've not had too much interaction with the Tri-Polity, so any information you can give us on these breakaways would be helpful.
I would be willing to give more detailed strategic and tactical information on the matter. However, I'm not authorized to bandy around state secrets without something in exchange. So if I do give you this information, I would require a certain guarantees by the Federation. I know you can't speak on behalf of the Romulans or the Klingons. Those are other meetings that I have to have after this one, which I'm not looking forward to either of them.
And what are the guarantees you're looking for? Just so I have an idea when I put it forward to the Admiral.
That any craft with the Tri-Polity transceiver are returned back to the Tri-Polity. If you wish to take prisoners and criminals, you are free to do so, but the ships stay ours. We built those ships, we rightfully claim those ships, and we do not wish them taken by the Federation or any of your allies. But we'll hold Federation accountable, because we can't account for, frankly, the Klingons going on their own thing. That I know I have to go to Kronos about, and I do not. She waves her hand like she's immediately going, nope, I'm not even talking about that anymore.
I don't think that's too unreasonable, but by the same breath, what about all the ships that were taken when the Tri-Polity was founded? They weren't built by the Tri-Polity. They would still technically be Federation property.
We're willing to discuss repatriating some Starfleet vessels back into their care, aside from the TNN Min, obviously. Frankly, the crew of the TNN Min have no interest in returning into the Federation, not after the betrayal they did to Star X.
I mean, I'm not really... I don't really have much of a care either way, crew or ships, but in the same aspect of please return our ships if you find them, the same could be asked the other way around, returning ships that were taken in what many could view, and I'm sure you understand, as a coup.
We like to consider it fixing up the mess that the Federation left behind.
Tomato, potato, whatever, who cares?
You care because you're the one that's at a strategic disadvantage, and I have information that you need.
I mean,
I didn't have to tell you that there's a strategic issue. I just wish to tell you about it because you agreed to look into the matter regarding our allies.
I know, and that's understandable, but I'm just letting you know if that's something that could come up in negotiations.
And if you are willing, at this point we're in social conflict, I think, because we ran into a point where you and the NPC are clashing. Yeah, you are. Well, right now you're asking her for stuff that she isn't agreeing to. She asked for. She said, "I'll give you strategic information regarding the ships that you're going to run into and tactical information about them. If you're willing to give us back, if you capture those ships, you give those back."
Oh yeah,
but you're asking, no. There's +1 on top of that. We want all the ships you took during the initial coup. So there's a +1 you're adding.
Like I said, I'm just saying that could come up in a negotiation. I'm just trying to get as much information before I take this up to Grennan.
Oh no, I'll walk that back then. Never mind, no rule.
Like technically, if they asked that, the Federation could ask for ships back in return that were taken at the fracture. I mean, it's not like they wouldn't.
Yeah. Okay, so you're not pushing the issue. That's what I was checking on.
Oh no, I'm just pointing out the fact that if negotiations happen, that probably that will come up.
All right.
But yeah, I don't see that being too much of an issue. Does anyone have anything they wish to ask the ambassador, or any insights? Especially the ambassador who's currently deafened and muted. Just sat in the corner with his hands over their ears, going la 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 la.
They have been be right back for a while, haven't they? Wow.
Yeah.
20 minutes or so.
But yeah, have you two picked anything up from this conversation that
I would actually like to ask GM if I can get maybe some sort of role to have been, watching and gleaning insight from this about like what might be being hidden.
Inside security opposed.
All right.
Fun.
Oh, you're back.
Yes. Yeah, I as I said, I had to step away, like, super quick.
None of my talents apply for this. That's not happening.
You're an engineer.
Her talents have changed. She has been more than an engineer for 5 years. That said, she just have a good engineering score because that was her whole thing. But still,
I use the fact that Penn is being the one to lead the conversation to kind of give myself an advantage here, that she's not really paying attention to my attention to her.
if you want to spend 2 momentum, sure.
Sure.
Or have him roll assist, either way.
Yeah, I'll have Penn assist here if that's good.
Okay.
Spending 3 threat to activate one of my dictates. I am required to maintain all secrets of the Tri-Polity.
All right.
I was going to say, Ralph was also brought here to do this, so if he can just assist by watching and paying attention. He can also...
You could, yep.
Also, Thralek's very perceptive, so he doesn't even need to do very big gestures to get her attention to things.
Buying as much dice as I can.
I think Tierra's gonna set this out. She has an inside of 7, so like.
Yeah, no, it's.
Let me see.
She is the bonk stick and EOD person, not.
Bonk.
Yeah,
It's inside.
She's got a baton.
Yeah, no, I know.
Do you guys want me to roll inside security? I'm only rocking a 10.
Well, as
Nah.
an assist, you can probably ask for a different thing.
You can potentially, yeah.
Okay.
It's not really what the ambassador's here for.
No, the ambassador's here for.
Yeah, we were trying to call you back because before the security roll, we thought the ambassador was going to say something, but we didn't know you were still away.
Yeah.
Checking to see if I have anything else that fires on those.
Oh. Not that it matters.
Tireless to still be attentive, even though I've been hanging over, Klingon lava pits for the last 3 hours.
I'll have to say no.
Okay.
If you had a complication related to that, tireless would have killed it.
Yeah. I'll buy up to 4 dice. Momentum.
Paranoia focus.
Yep.
And observation focus for me.
Yep.
Same thing.
So Altera is currently rolling 4 with a moment determination spent, correct?
Right.
Considering I'm here as the distraction from talking, presence command.
Sure.
Diplomacy.
Yep.
Do my traits kick in?
You're the assist. No,
just making sure. 17 and I still don't get it.
What did I... Oh, yeah.
Huh. Okay.
I believe I'm 2 up.
Yeah, you're 2 up. And I already spent my determination.
Hold.
I can't give you mine.
Was it last session I spent mine for diplomatic to calm people down?
Yeah.
Could I burn a milestone to create determination?
You could.
I'll do that, and I'll give it to Throlic.
All right.
I will re-roll. Should I roll 2 or 1?
Well, I mean, you're down by 2, and they've got a comp as well.
Mm-hmm. I honestly just want to re-roll all 3.
Maybe.
Yeah. I'm going to re-roll all 3 that aren't crits. Try and get an additional crit in there. So 4, so... No.
Oh, we both rolled 19s for assists. Woof.
Yeah, and I'm rolling. We're up to a 17, and I still roll a 19.
Yeah. The price of peace is vigilance. I am being vigilant to, make sure there's not anything being slipped up here.
Sure.
There we go.
Oh.
6, 7. So
Yep.
we get 1
By 1.
and a comp on their side.
Very nicely gambled.
Mm-hmm.
Whoops! Don't do that, computer. Stop. Thank you. Nope, I don't get those 3 back. Oh well, being a veteran only helps sometimes.
Unless you're me.
Yeah. Yeah, you succeed, and you can tell that as much as she's trying to be relaxed and jovial and friendly and all that stuff, she is quite nervous. Not of you. It's not of you guys. She's nervous of the implications. There's way more going on here that she knows about, and she's not telling you because she feels it's gonna imperil the negotiations. You can even see her hand shaking every so often as she's putting stuff away, and she fidgets a bit, and you actually remember because of the complication, you happen to look up her file. You do know Altera is she's deferential, but she's rather calm. Like if she knows she's right, and she'll stand on that ground and not leave it, come what may. But if she's uncertain of something, then it would take a lot to shake her resolve. So the fact that she looks shaken at all implies something a lot more important is going on that she just isn't saying aloud.
Can I give you a threat for ESP here to manage to get even more of a read on what is shaking her somehow?
You see the banner of House Rasa in her mind. And you see a world, red, then blue, then purple.
Son of a bitch.
Right?
No. Put that thing back where it came from, or so help me.
Oda in the distance. No.
Varder, wherever the hell he is.
I mean, to be fair,
Oda-
Pend also has a...
Oda in about 3 days. Let's be honest.
Just everyone across all the campaigns just collectively goes, no.
Yeah. I think Pend is the only one left on the crew who's actually been to Kasho.
Yeah, Throlic was there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, as an NPC.
Yeah, she was there. Wasn't nearly as heavily involved, so.
Kino was also aboard the Kismet.
So it's only
they were both kind of lower decks at the time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So what do you do with that particular insight? Like you realize this in your head, and as people are like everyone's mostly everyone else is pointing out like with slight nods or a quick little point to indicate her hands are shaking or a look of is she all right sort of look, and you start piecing. Tharlik starts piecing this all together, and the image just clicks into place.
So for the first time in the meeting, Sherlock will speak up and say, for the Federation's possible assistance with this pandemic, would the Tri-Polity be willing to share relevant intelligence as an exchange? Perhaps?
What sort of exchange did you have in mind, Commander?
Well, your faction has been operating out in this region for now a considerably longer period of time than we have. Some more insights into what's happened in the region before we've turned our attention back, perhaps. I know that the Klingons had a house come out in this direction at one point. As well as there being Romulan efforts that are deeper into the territory.
Commander, I don't know if it's appropriate to be holding hostage the lives of people who need medical aid. So I'd rather that was something I would hope the Federation would simply look into. But I am willing to exchange other information for such insights. You know, she calms down, like she realized she was being overly jittery, and you actually see her kind of put the engineering bag down to kind of help herself calm down, and she just chills right out all of a sudden. It's like she noticed something. Well, mostly ESP, without even rolling, it's herself. She noticed she was being jittery. She's like, "Whoops, I need to calm down. I need to regain control of myself."
Throlic will just nod and lean back a little bit.
May I, sirs?
Sure. What have you got to add, Lieutenant?
Ambassador, a while ago, there was an attack by a pirate faction on a Federation outpost. I'm not sure if you're aware of that or not.
I am not, no.
It was perpetrated by pirates. They had the unusual streak of or not streak. They were trying to take prisoners, which isn't usual for pirates.
Unless they're slavers.
These were not slavers.
If you have an emblem that they flew, I might be able to give you more insight.
Fishermen of fortune, Romulan pirates.
It's not a pirate faction that I'm particularly familiar with. Either they either formed rather recently, or they're so small that they haven't challenged their fleets yet. Which, if that's the case, it's weird that they're taking shots at you. That's a very risky move on their part to attack either of us. Our fleets are too big. You'd need to
And to
be
attempt to take
someone a lot more.
prisoners.
Yeah, like you take prisoners, you're inviting people to chase you. If it was a syndicate or something, that'd be different, or other pirate factions, but it's no one that doesn't look like anyone I know.
We would assume that it's someone hiring them to do this. Would you have any idea as to what entities would be interested in that?
Well, this splinter group that I speak of, these Azalonites, as it were, maybe that's their advantage. They're hiring mercenaries. Well, that seems a paltry reason to risk themselves so much.
It also does not seem to be a terribly momentous advantage.
And to kidnap Starfleet officers, not particularly worth it, unless they have some reason to believe it would be useful to them. You are Tri-Polity. If they are a split faction from you, they might have something in line for goals.
One moment, please. I'll be right back.
Hmm. You know, he's basically we're a step back than we actually are, as far as what he's saying.
Yeah, the only thing I'd say is probably don't go too far in revealing what we know.
Yeah,
I'm back.
He's stopping. Yes.
Hi, back. I'm Dad.
Mm.
Yep. So last thing you were talking about was that. Mechanically, Tara is trying to get an assist from one of you as she begins wondering aloud certain financial possibilities as to why they would be doing what they're doing. What would be the cost benefit analysis of exactly why they would be trying to go after Starfleet or Federation personnel rather than, say, your dilithium or any other strategic material?
Could I assist with reason?
You could, because you actually have more data than she does. She has to roll insight because she doesn't have what you have. She has to guess a bit.
They need to meet.
Reason roll, I get a reroll. Haha! Focus in mental prowess.
Just so you know, the dip's 3. She's only hit 1. Sorry.
Oh, Jesus.
You can see why she wants help.
Mental prowess.
Yes.
I do a reroll. 19 again.
Hmm.
Oh, only hit 1.
However, I'm the one prodding. Can I assist?
Yep.
Again, probably with reason, because I mean, probably not with reason, actually. I looked at my reason score again. Though, could I argue for security?
You could.
Yeah.
She's coming at it from a very particular angle, but you can come at it from another angle that she isn't thinking about.
Then specifically trying to, I'm trying to get something out of her here as well.
Yeah.
Like, I'm deliberately not saying as much as I do know. I'm being very Romulan.
Do we gain or do you gain off that?
It is momentum. She's actually helping you in this role. She's actually being allied for this particular role.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I was like, I can't do anything, and I don't think you're giving me your momentum yet, so.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, no. Yep.
We make.
Oh, so you're saying they use that type of starship, which means... And they only attacked your relays. They didn't attack the planets. They threatened them, but they didn't go on them. So they're not after the citizens. They're not after any resources. They're after Starfleet personnel.
Mm-hmm.
They're after your people. But they gave them back, or they didn't give them back to you. You took them back.
Yes.
Not to be too paranoid. But given the Tri-Polity's history with mind control sciences, I would pull every one of those officers and have them re-examined to check for. Probably wouldn't be. Well, I don't know what to tell you to look for right now that I think of it. Some sort of mind control chip or nanite, Calcite if you want to be particular. Kashoan, sorry. Kashoan crystal. I doubt it's crystals because we haven't seen any in these last 5 years. Since they disappeared, which is good for them, really. But I suspect they've been mind controlled. You have a Manchurian candidate. Sorry, I just realized I just said that to a bunch of non-humans. I'm sorry. Plants, people who are programmed, brainwashed people.
A very Romulan technique.
Like petunias?
Exactly. Huh?
Plants
Well,
like petunias?
like petunias. No. Like a spy plant, like a bug plant, except it's a person.
That probably gets a look if Kino actually said that because she's in security.
Yep.
And so, like, you're taking it, you're doing extra training later.
Sorry, I'm secretly 12.
That'd be my guess. That'd be why they were doing it, because that way you take the people, even if you get caught, if you catch them and you get to keep them, great. You can now pretend to be slavers. You can do in-depth brainwashing. Or if they give them back, all you need to do is place a tiny tag, like a neural caliper type size or a small chip. And if you know what you're doing, you can, according to our certain members of the Tri-Polity, there are lots of things you can get a person to do they wouldn't do otherwise. Nothing. I don't think it'd be anything extreme though, because they didn't have them for very long. For you tell me. So I'd guess they were. It'd be something small, like a command word, like pull a lever, press a button, something very, very simple. It couldn't be anything elaborate. They didn't have enough time to do that. Except maybe they'll unless they had them for a few days. But most of the things you're telling me about were like they had them for like a few hours. That's not a lot of time to do proper programming. So shut off a shield generator, turn off weapons, something like that.
Don't raise an alarm.
Don't raise an alarm, that sort of thing. Yeah.
Well, that's something we can definitely look into and give them a full evaluation again.
And as far as you're concerned, that would be the Splinter faction.
That'd be my best guess. I can't think of anyone else who'd take a shot at you with that level. Well, I don't think it's them, though.
Who?
There's another... for momentum, she'll actually answer, because she is trying to help.
Yeah, sure.
There's another Klingon group out here. There's two houses. You probably know of House of Gitta. They've been poking around out this way, much to our annoyance. But there's another house of the Klingon Empire that's been poking around, House Rasa. Now, not sure how versed you are on Rasa technologies, but the short story is she is a master scientist in cloaking technology. But she also took a great knowledge during the Bemoth planetfall disaster in the Cowcat at the time. She was also one of the people that helped develop some of the early Klingon weaponry for Cowcat torpedoes. So if someone were to do mind control, she could have done it, but I don't know how she does it without crystals, but she would know the science. But that said, I don't think it's her. I really believe it would be the Splinter group. This is too subtle for Rasa. Rasa's a very Klingon scientist. If she did something, she'd be laughing in your face about it the whole time. She'd be writing a journal about it and publish it. Plus, I doubt that Klingon Empire is out to go at war with the Federation right now.
No, especially not with Martok in charge.
Mm-hmm. And last I checked, Rasa still hasn't been discommendated, so they're still an imperial house, albeit with a rather powerful enemy on the council, but still.
Hello. You've given us quite a bit to mull over. If you don't mind staying here, or we can find you some accommodation while we discuss whether we take it up to the Admiral.
Up to you. If you think it's gonna be a short talk, then I can just wait in here. But if you think it's gonna be a few hours, I wouldn't mind getting something to eat. Or having something. Wait, we're in a diplomatic suite. What am I doing? I can just wait here. And I'll just get something from the replicator. Sorry, I just not used to being in this room on this side of the table. So sorry.
No worries. Kino, if you could remain here with our guest, Ambassador, Commander, Lieutenant. If we could step outside, please.
Sure. Stepping away from the door first. Ambassador.
Yes.
The door. Walks across the table.
Just hops it, parkour stuff.
Sorry.
Parkour!
No,
Kino was
Kino
asked to stay
was asked to
inside.
stay in to keep an eye on her.
You know, so if she randomly gets transported away or something, there's someone who was there. Less spying, more, security.
Mhm.
Make sure the door's closed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I believe we need to go speak with the commander, get his opinion, and we can take it from there.
I didn't detect anything of outright deceit on the Chancellor.
She seemed too... too eager for help.
I suspect that the Tri-Polity is in some sort of trouble that she is not eager to discuss.
Oh, Thralic,
Hence
one other thing
there.
you see in your ESP. Sorry, I just remembered you would have seen this. You would see a massive fleet of alien ships with that shine with a gold hull. You do not recognize the silhouette.
Oh, that
Okay.
would have been. Oh, that's different.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, am I the only one who picked up when she said she was on a war with two fronts?
Yeah, no, I picked that up as well.
No, yeah.
This just kind of adds more to what one of the fronts is.
Yes.
Well, with that being said, Ambassador, unless you wish to just speak with the Chancellor, I believe not too much more I can ask of you.
Very good.
Well, okay then. Commander, Lieutenant, shall we?
Very well, sir.
Yes.
Let's head up to Strategic Ops, please.
Okay. Senior Chief Petty Officer. She looks up at the security person in the room with her. Like,
Nods in acknowledgement.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch your name again.
How do you pronounce her last name?
Tear.
Tear.
I'll say
All right.
she's given as bubbly and
Oh,
bubbly,
no.
kind, and sarcastic.
Don't give her your true name. She'll have control over you.
She has a bio that gives you a brief on her.
That's helpful. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's Tyr.
Huh. Similar to my name. That's interesting. Small galaxy.
Suppose so.
Our names, they sound alike. Tyr, Tear.
Yeah. Are you really
So-
here for help? Or are you trying to reach out to the Federation and to gain friends?
Yes, would be the answer. I'm doing both. We was never our intention to stay this locked away from Federation and all that. I mean, diplomacy is the gears from which prevent war, after all. The fact that we're more ready for war than the Federation is different, but that doesn't preclude diplomacy. That doesn't preclude having amiable conversations. Even the Romulans recognize that. But I was just gonna say, I noticed something on my sensors on the way in. I noticed you have a new starship in dock. It's not a California class or Parliament class. I haven't seen it before.
Don't you fucking dare.
It's been around for a little bit.
Oh, has it? Oh. Must have been before my time, I suppose. Well, I was just going to say that, not to tell you how to do your jobs or anything. Sorry, I may be talking to the wrong person. Do you serve on this Achilles? Or are you station personnel?
I serve Starfleet. I go where they need me to.
That's a very good answer, Petty Officer. Very good answer. All right, then. All right, then. Well, you can pass it on to the relevant officers. I noticed they're kind of doing a shit job repairing it. They're going to be at that for, what, another 20 days, given by the look of her? There's like chunks of the hull missing. I could see the burn marks from space. If they wanted, I'd be willing to assist with matters. Well, sorry. I know they're going to let me crawl around the darn ship, because that's... we're not allies yet. But, if they wanted a more expert engineer to assist with the matter and speed things along, I'd be willing to assist. Hell, you know what? I'll even throw in. I'll teach you how to see through the phase cloak, because I really want to take a look at that ship.
I'm afraid that's going to have to be Ian Matter to talk with the diplomatic crew you're about to see if you can get sanctions and diplomatic tour of a vessel.
If you could pass it along for me when you get the chance. It's not a priority. It's more of a personal matter, and I figure, I need to exchange. Nothing is free after all. Whoops. One moment, please. I have to BRB real quick.
Are we that desperate to learn about the phase cloak? To let them look around one of the Federation's newest fucking heavy cruiser?
It's a 5-year-old ship at this point.
Yeah,
It's still
not that new.
And Arlen is going to be quite offended that he's doing a shit job. The fuck you say?
I mean, he's better at breaking stuff than making stuff, generally.
He
Right?
breaks stuff into better configurations, let's be honest.
But does
Does he though?
And seriously, when was the last time I actually broke something?
You haven't broken anything because we don't let you break it.
Exactly.
But yeah, like the offer, I will let you look at the phase cloak. We also have Arlen's structural energy thing, and we have quantum phase torpedoes. Do we want the Tri-Polity having a good look at those two pieces of tech?
Oh no!
I mean,
I don't think we should let her look at it.
Let's just have her do like a formal diplomatic tour and show her the holodecks and the officers' lounge.
I think she would know very well what was going on if that was what was offered, and I don't think she'd even be interested.
No, she's asking to
My
crawl around.
suspicion.
She's asking to crawl around on the ship, not walk around the holodecks. They have holodecks.
She can quite literally walk around the ship with guard, but she's not going near engineering or near weapons or any serious systems. That's at most
only
what
the
I'd go
humorous
for.
systems.
Yes.
We can show her. Systems. We can show her the. And I just completely lost the word. The plant room, Arboreum.
Arboretum.
That's not right. Arboretum. The plant room. Good job, brain.
I mean, the torpedoes are quite easily, they're just not there. Like, they don't need to be on the ship when it's being repaired.
We would still have them in the magazines, but that would definitely be a classified location.
They can be moved.
Don't have to be moved to be like secret though. You just don't have them displayed.
Yeah, there's also that.
Just
Like
don't.
there are things that can be done to, it'll be a contested role, I'm sure, but I can do that.
Yeah, just don't take it near the fucking torpedoes or near the engine room.
It's an
Yeah,
engineer.
there's
She'll
going to be
try
a
to
quite
sneak
problem
something
with
around that
if
for sure.
the
And that's why I'm saying it'll end up being a contested, but I can do that. It's fine.
there's going to be an issue with the piezoelectric system because that's
I'm
literally
back.
everywhere on the ship.
Yes, but it only really displays itself when the ship's hit.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
I mean, also, you wouldn't have to send that to the diplomat. You'd have to send that to the ship's captain.
I was trying to give her as long as the chain and to bark up. So,
Yeah.
Diplomatic Corps, ask Starfleet, ask you, yeah.
Yep. And the response to that was, I'm not going to bother with it, but just send it up the chain, and I'm sure you know the right people, and if they need the help, sure. Talk to the relevant officers. Just wanted to offer while I'm here. And she continues to eat her food and just relaxes. She seems to be eating some sort of rice dish with a small cup of coffee.
Well, it's like we were discussing when you were away. She can have a tour, but she's going nowhere near torpedoes or the goddamn engine room.
Yeah.
Because I don't care how long the ship's been around for, they have no idea what those two things are.
That makes. Would she meet the chief engineer during that tour?
Probably not. The chief's not going to really be up to taking guests right now.
All right. We'll deal with that scene later. We go new scene as we head up to strategic operations.
That'd probably be Ryloff. Just I'm here.
Oh,
This is
right.
my job.
I remember now. I was using this exact table. So what I need to do very quickly is this. Ah, other way. There we go. Ah, map layer.
I'm up to the map!
Oh no! I saw you selected. There you go. You're back. Oh no, they're on the map layer too. Hold on.
Faces
There you
out
go.
of existence. Okay.
Got all this talk of phase tech.
Yep. Same thing. We'll past the door.
Yep. You're eventually allowed in.
And as Moses said to the Red Sea, open.
I don't think
Open
that's what he
says-
said.
Yeah, I know it isn't what he said.
Commander.
Oops.
Wait, wow. Sorry. Yeah. I was tabbed away.
Well, Commander, we've just had our little meeting.
Oh, all right then. That was quick. Relatively speaking, I mean.
There's
Well,
only so much progress you can make when no official deals can be talked through, of course.
So you didn't agree to anything. That's good.
God, no.
Yeah.
I mean, they gave us a location what we'll have to run through our star maps of some people requesting aid. That's nothing against what we can't do at the best of times, so I accepted that.
What sort of aid?
Disease outbreak.
Disease outbreak? Yeah, no. Once you have I'll have it processed through our navigation, and we'll see if it's we can deploy you out that way.
Understood. But
They
go ahead, Lieutenant.
they made mention of a splinter faction. And as far as she believes, the attack upon our outpost or our relay would be this splinter faction's responsibility.
They have a scapegoat faction?
Yes,
Correct.
people who still follow the teachings of Assalon.
You gotta be kidding me. He rubs his head.
Her belief is that they may have been attempting to brainwash, is I believe the term Starfleet likes to use, the personnel.
Program.
And as such, it might be
He
appropriate to
suggested a
double
medical
check those people
examination
upon
of the
relay.
individuals
Oh,
or any implants.
Oh, don't tell me that. All right. Do you believe her?
I believe that she believes this, at the very least.
If they do have the number of Romulans that was suspected, they definitely have the capability. And that's not counting new technologies.
Great.
I mean, there's no harm in being cautious on this matter.
Yeah, it's true. It just means that we're gonna have to pull we're gonna have to pull those stations and cycle in new people, which is doable. Just it'll reduce our subspace relay effectiveness for a little bit.
It was a single station, correct?
2. There was another one up more coreward that got hit as well. The Lighton just recovered it. So, all right. Well,
Good thing to be forewarned of in the event that it is an accurate assessment of the available information.
all right. I'll launch missions to have those looked into then, or I'll recommend them anyway.
I will say the Tri-Polity appears to be quite occupied with some other matter.
Like what?
They're unable to lend the medical assistance to the aforementioned ally of theirs when they'd previously dissuaded from contacting the Federation. And when the matter of hostilities was broached, Chancellor Altera was, well, I hesitate to say she slipped, because I'm unsure how much of it was anything she was supposed to say. She alluded to them not wanting to be in a two-front war, something that could have been interpreted as the Federation's allies being dragged into a war if they engaged in one. But I was able to sense that was not the direction of her thoughts. The ships that she envisioned were ones I've not seen before, and I'll describe them.
All right. This guy's gonna try to. You're assisting him with his role to if he happens to recognize the ship, because he might be briefed on stuff you aren't briefed on. But
Yep.
This isn't that hard actually. It's hard, but not Div 5 hard.
I mean, if you need to give yourself threat.
Yeah.
No, he knows like Div 3. It's
Like-
actually not as bad as I think it is.
Honestly, we're not the people who are going to be too concerned if you give yourself threat for extra dice.
Yeah.
How much shit do you want him to buy?
Yeah, buy a third die.
I mean, is it just one assist?
Other people can assist. It's basically an insight con roll because you're trying to help him figure out what kind of ship you're describing. Other than it has a gold hull, it's like no. But what's the silhouette like? What do the nacelles look like? Did it have nacelles? You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless I can switch to reason, I don't think I'll assist.
Yeah, it's an insight. You have too little information.
Yeah.
Thankfully, he does have a focus. This is and he's looking at a 13 on this.
All
This
right.
is his job. He's supposed to be able to do this sort of thing.
I mean, do we want to push for a 4th dice just in case?
I mean, I'm assisting and I have a reroll on my die.
Oh, that's fair.
I think 3 should be fine, hopefully. But yeah, I'd be fine with pushing to 4.
How GM? How confident does Commander Hammond feel?
Would he like to buy a 4th die?
Yeah,
He'd rather get it than not.
yeah, go for it.
Yeah, go for it then.
I said we're not a threat-shy group.
Well, there you go.
And my assist with strategy and tactics observation. One of those.
Observation.
I'll reroll that. There we go.
From what you're describing, I remember reading a report. Hold on. Tap, 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 tap. He starts tapping at the computer. You start hearing a hum in the air, as if he's jamming anyone listening into the conversation.
Cool. Lethix has 1 bonus momentum as well.
Flow
From my
or just one more?
Just a bonus momentum. Yeah, float.
Right. Turns around. So, this is neat to know. Don't bandy this around. He waves his hand like all 3 of you, 2 security officers and a guy who spent time as an intelligence officer. He saves you the full spiel. The U.S.S. Victoria encountered a fleet of ships a few years ago called the Aldemona Bureaucracy. They were a migrant fleet that went around supposedly pillaging worlds and forcing city-states into their rule. City-states, planet-states. But they never really colonized anywhere. They just came by and would force people to follow them. Now there are some members of their rival, the Alcarans, who are admiral within the expeditionary auxiliary fleet. His people have been in negotiations to keep them away. Aldemona ships are actually rather advanced, and supposedly that's what the admiral of the auxiliary fleet is up to. He's been trying to help push them back and keep them from coming our direction. And he's always just the Alcarans haven't been very forthcoming exactly what Aldemona ships looks like, but they have described them as a Borg level of threat. Incredibly advanced, incredibly powerful, but they haven't really seen fit to come our direction due to various treaties and the other disputes. So that's what it sounds like you're describing. Gold hulls, fairly large, almost carrier-like in design, but grouped together as a sort of armada.
Yes.
So that's my best guess. I can't think of many other fleets that mass together that much, beyond the old, birth of the Federation era, where that was usually the better call. You moved in a convoy.
Well, it would appear that the Tri-Polity would be in some form of conflict with them. Knowing their proclivities, that's makes sense.
All right. Well,
She's also concerned about Rasa and the connection to the Kashoans, but I don't have as much insight on that one.
oh,
Just an image that popped through my
I
mind.
believe I have a bit more on that.
Captain?
From speaking with Oda himself, it seems Rasa is in the expanse looking for Kasho.
And the Tri-Polity is aware of that. Interesting.
Oda believes that Rasa has found a way to reach Kasho. Unclear as of yet, but it's probably more likely considering even the Tri-Polity are having concerns as well.
all right. Is there any questions you want him to, because you have the most momentum, is there anything you want to ask of him that he may be able to illuminate on regarding the ships?
Would the Tri-Polity stand a chance against them?
Yeah, that'll cost you one. Actually, no, sorry, I'll refund you that. He doesn't know. He knows too little about the Tri-Polity.
If that's the case, how would the Achilles fare up against one? Like, obviously not the entire armada.
But one ship?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll cost one. He can give a somewhat intelligent answer. It's the difference between you're looking at a scale 10 fight, maybe scale 11. So doable, but it's hard. And there's a lot of unknowns. But your ship with its armaments might have a chance. Especially with your torpedo profile. You might be able to pull off some attacks that they don't know about and that they haven't, because that's a very unique technology that you've been developing. So, which is leaps and bounds ahead of where we are in torpedo technology. So we may be at their level when it comes to torpedoes.
So generally, let's try not to get into an engagement with them.
Or if you do get an engagement, make sure it's a 1-on-1 fight.
Clearly. But she was also mentioning that if we deal with this splinter group, that we return any vessels that were built by the Tri-Polity to the Tri-Polity. They don't care what happens to the people we take from them. We can give them back or keep them, but they just want their ships back.
From this rogue faction.
Yes.
That would support the idea that they're in some form of intense conflict.
Needing as many ships as possible.
And not caring about the personnel, so they must have other personnel to fill the ranks. Building ships takes time. Training people takes time, but building ships takes even longer.
And of which I mentioned to her that if that discussion got to that stage, that the Federation would most likely ask for any ships that deserted us at that time to be returned, barring obviously their flagship, the Tiananmen.
Well, that doesn't surprise me. All right, yeah, and you're right to have mentioned that. We have to at least try, if nothing else, to get our ships back.
I don't think she was opposed to it, but it's something that needs to be properly discussed, but not by me.
That's weird.
Not aggressively opposed.
Perhaps the Federation ships, or perhaps the ships that they have built, are more suitable for these engagements in some manner. If they've perfected the phase cloak, I could see that being a significant tactical advantage, and perhaps it can't be employed on the older vessels.
Models.
That, and if they're trying to combine the technology of 3 ships in their new designs, you can't really do that as well with older ships.
Or making a concession so that we will become friendly. And once we're friendly, we might be inclined to help them in their conflict.
That's, of course, another possibility. Yeah.
But there's still a lot of question marks, but...
She is going to talk to the Klingons next.
Yeah, and I think she also needs to speak to the Romulans at some stage.
Good luck with that. We barely can talk to the Romulans right now.
But
actually, we might be able to organize talking with the Klingons ourselves and get some concessions for it. It's what we're good at, after all, getting diplomatic contacts. So you think this is all worthwhile? You think the Admiral should bother talk? Is this all worth our time? It sounds like it is, but if there's something I'm missing, please tell me.
Honestly,
I think it is, in my evaluation.
I agree. I think it's worth it. I still think there's stuff being held back, whether that'll be revealed in full discussions or not is a different matter.
Yeah.
But I'm not sensing that there's too much of a downside here. And that concerns
It does seem
me.
awfully convenient that they have a splinter faction of a splinter faction, but there's a high degree of precedence for that kind of behavior as well, I think.
If they're already willing to do it once, the individuals present are not exactly inclined to remain in place.
Lesix gives you a look for a second, but it's only for a half second. He just lets it go.
He's aware it's an argument that is not exactly amazing for his own position.
Well, we'll
but he's
hand
not
over...
so much a splinter faction as just a single defector.
We'll hand over...
for a momentum, Lesix will bring something up that might be important.
Sure.
Yep.
I think I know how she has an in with the Romulans.
Wasn't he in a relationship with a Romulan?
Yeah, he's married to a rather prominent Romulan Senate family.
Well, there you go.
That explains how they're talking to them. So much for that idea.
Starixes?
Yeah, that's one of the issues where I think he was in a court-martial a good few years back.
Yeah, because he helped her escape the Empire, I think.
Yep, that was in character.
Right.
I will say any official actions might be something they're looking for to officialize themselves.
How do you mean?
If they haven't been spoken to in a diplomatic context before now, they are still regarded as rebels, correct?
To a degree.
Engaging in diplomacy with them suggests that they are now a legitimate entity.
Which is why she declared herself. Damn it.
Yeah.
Lesix just looks at his screen.
Yep.
I just legitimized them as a proper diplomatic contact.
Good job.
Damn it all.
No comment.
That would
no
make sense why they reached out to us first.
I'm just gonna pat him on the shoulder, give him a thumbs up. Thanks for this.
Yeah, he nods like, yep, that's on me.
Look, as it stands, we'll give you obviously we didn't record it because we asked, she refused, but the offer was made. We'll pass along
on the basis that it was not official.
Yes. We'll pass along everything we've learned. I'd very much appreciate it if you were sat in on the meeting with the Admiral.
Yep, I'm going to be doing that for sure.
And if anything comes up from this that requires the Achilles or anyone else, just let us know. It seems too convenient and too good to be true in some aspects, but it's something we can't really afford to pass up. The information we could gain is too valuable.
I was just going to essentially on a pad mark, essentially on a report that he's already made, like, his prior report from the output or the relay incident of how much she knows. And
Sir, just hand that over.
Takes it.
She knows nothing past that point.
Could I make a roll?
What kind of roll?
I'd like to try and reason out what they could, obviously apart from the meeting and what we've discussed, what they could be trying to get from this, specifically from meeting with Granum. Just to try and give them a heads up so they're not completely shocked during the meeting.
Reason command diff 3. Lesix will assist because that's why you're talking to him. He's your strategic operations officer. That's what he's for. He's supposed to help you with this sort of thing.
Would you allow mental prowess? Because I'm literally trying to think out what's happening.
Yep. He has advisors. You have a reroll from him.
Awesome. I have a reroll from mental imaging as well.
Oh, that works.
I'll give you a threat for bold command, which will give me another reroll.
Diff goes up to 4.
I mean, to be fair, I've got 3 rerolls here.
Yeah, so I'm like, I might as well. Well, there you go. Oops. No, it's a natural one. Nope, I'm right.
So I'm also going to spend my 2 medals to create 4 momentum. And I'd like to increase the quality or the advantage I'm giving the commander and the admiral.
I'd save it. There's the base advantage on its own is enough to give them an advantage. So you might need that for something else. I'm telling you. I'll be nice and refund that.
But you can see where I was going with this.
Yeah. You discuss it. You and Lesix talk it out for a bit, and then it's like, okay. The basic gist is that it looks like this is a matter that they want to deal with. And if they weren't otherwise engaged, they would totally turn around and drop right on top of it. So they're trying to incentivize the Federation as much as possible to deal with it, rather than the Klingons or the Romulans. If they have to reach out to the Klingons or Romulans, they will, and they do have an in with the Romulans. So they're trying to be super. And the fact that Altera herself came, and she's considered a rather senior member of, like, someone who's known StarX for a long time and served with them. She's trying to make this as official, above board as possible. Make it something the Federation's willing to deal with, rather than the Maquis, who would address things in a different way. She's trying to be a little more federational in her way of doing things, which implies they really want you to do this. If they wanted to trick you, they'd use spies or some secret drop or in a bar somewhere, but that's not the way they're going. That said, they don't trust the Federation 100% because Starix himself isn't here. He's either so involved in a strategic operation he can't leave, or he doesn't trust the Federation. Either of those are perfectly plausible.
Or both.
Or both, for that matter, yeah.
What's
Ever helpful, Lieutenant, pointing out a third option.
As it stands, you've now got an important meeting to set up with the Admiral. If you wish, over the next couple of days, I can try and assist you with redeployments to help with the possible reprogramming of people.
Captain, don't even worry about it. You've done more than enough. We'll take it from here.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. Between me and the Admiral, and the rest of the Admiralty staff, we should be able to hammer this away. I wasn't sure if I wanted to bring this to the Admiralty board or to the Admiralty staff, but this has risen to a point where it's definitely worth all of us having an emergency meeting on this matter.
If I may put forward,
feel free.
Romulan techniques are involved regarding the relay crews, Lieutenant Koval is someone who was trained in Romulan medicine.
We may very well have a conversation with her. He nods. It's a good idea, Lieutenant.
But, don't be afraid to reach out to us. Like I said, we've got I don't know how far the crew have got with speeding up the repairs, but I assume we've at least got 2 weeks probably still being here. So if you need help, just reach out. There's no point of just saying, oh no, you've done enough.
Well, with all due respect, sir, there is a certain point where we need to give you time to take care of yourselves. Because I don't know how the next time we send you out, it might be some time before you're back. So I'd rather your crew was bright-eyed and bushy-tailed when they go out into the expanse again.
Oh no, I'm not saying reach out to the crew, I'm saying reach out to me.
You are included in my estimations as well, sir. You're tough, but you're still a Tellarite. You have your limits.
Now I just feel insulted.
Don't worry, he gets that way whenever I recommend he takes leave.
I mean, I spent a week without sleep walking, basically hiking over a crystal planet that was radiating me to death. And you think I can't take an extended time on a
Wasn't that
starship?
7 years ago, sir?
Yeah. And?
Also,
Might
with
be
all due
getting
respect,
old,
sir,
sir.
didn't you nearly die in that incident, sir?
I think I probably did die.
I'm not in the position to make you die, sir. I think they frown upon that in at Starfleet Command.
Also, the other day I stamped on a grenade.
Sir, please go do something else before I have to report you to medical.
Frolics just grinning right now.
What about your grenade, right? You got shot by an arrow.
Yeah, then I
Very
went to
passive.
medical.
God, they've all gone
Yeah,
soft.
verbal.
Princess start walking out of the room, they've all gone bloody soft.
Welcome to the new Starfleet, Captain.
Probably nods to the left commander,
Commander,
and she'll head out.
good day, Lieutenant.
Commander. He's just kind of waiting.
Meanwhile, does anyone let Kino be relieved of her charge of Altera?
Yes.
Yeah, as soon
Okay.
as soon as
As soon
um,
as the
yeah.
meeting's done.
I wanted to check.
Yeah, it's one of those. As soon as this is set up and the meeting's being set up, other people more suited for that will probably be sent.
Especially when it gets handed over to station as opposed to us,
Mm-hmm.
which is now.
Last scene. Oops, I have too many things up.
Oh, is this on the Achilles when she's walking around?
Yep.
Oh no.
Well, actually, I was going to move these security guys, but they're probably here.
Yeah, and again, this is stated to not be near the engine room or the weapons.
Yeah, no, if it is Rylov, he knows exactly. It's almost like he's used to high security.
Mm-hmm.
Is anyone giving her the tour?
Does she ask for anyone in particular?
She'd like to speak with the chief engineer if at all possible. But she knows that person, that whoever that is probably really busy.
Rylov does have an engineering score of 3.
I probably haven't even seen the inside of my own quarters for the past week.
Yeah,
Well,
really.
to be fair, if that's the case, Pend 100% would have ordered you to get off the goddamn ship
Yeah, okay.
and probably go see your husband, you moron.
Yeah, take your R&R.
Yeah, Rylov can then.
Yeah. Do you want anyone else to go with you? Like I said,
He can manage it. Plus, like the only person he trusts is Kaval, so
I mean, fuck it, I'll go there. I'll let Rylov give the tour.
you're just kind of here.
My goddamn shit.
Is Cadet Ven along for some reason? I can't think of, but it's up to you.
I
You can insert your-
I can't think of any like particularly good reason.
Okay. I'd offer. You could have.
No, it's fine.
Clearly, the Vulcan cadet's just one of the escorts because she wants to be.
Oh. This is a fine ship you have. Seems to be... Actually, she has to roll for this. She might not get it. And the difficulty is higher because you limited her ability to look around.
No shit.
She does have a focus. Yep. That does not help. That doesn't help. That doesn't help. I will buy a die. I might get lucky.
Oh my
Nope.
god!
No clue.
You learn goddamn nothing.
I think you learn worse than nothing. You make like an incorrect assumption. I don't know.
Yeah.
How?
You know, it's been a long time since I've been back to Utopia Planitia, I will admit.
That has been a long road.
The ship has had a lot of work done into it.
True, it's been going for around 5 years now. This is the labour of my love, shall we say.
You're not the designer, are you?
I am.
Wait. You didn't serve time in the engineering corps, did you?
Nope.
A damn pilot building starships. Oh well, I guess Starfleet has changed.
If you, as you say, the Tri-Polity is building its own ships,
Well,
that does suggest a heavy Romulan and Klingon influence. So your experience would have changed.
yeah, I guess I'm gotten too used to the new models.
So, apart from being not entirely used to it, any other opinions you'd like to give?
I will say, your ship has withstood a lot more. It looks like it's withstood a lot more damage than I thought. On the outside, in some of the scans, it indicated that you had. How do I put it? It was almost like you overloaded your systems on purpose. It wasn't battle damage. So I assume there must have been some sort of mechanical fault or weakness in the structure, in the internal structures. But no, everything seems to be pretty standard for Starfleet, even for 5 years ago. It's almost like you just burned out your systems on your own.
Circumstance.
Yeah, call it a stress test.
A stress test. Okay. Well,
Pathfinding.
yeah, it feels
is
like there's
perhaps
something
one
I'm
of-
missing. It's almost like the hull looks wrong. It's probably nothing important.
I would say that pathfinding is perhaps one of the more rigorous tasks any starship can be assigned to.
I totally agree with that.
So
Recon-
such intensive stress tests, well,
Hmm.
they become warranted suddenly.
Well, I was going to offer my insights into how to speed up your repairs, but geez, I just don't know this ship's design. Most I could offer, because I hate to see a good ship like this just hang about in a star dock. That's just wrong. Starships aren't meant to sit and dock. I have some contacts with some Ferengi traders who were in the quarantine sector. They're not there now, but they are part of the same merchant group. If you want, I could give you a letter of recommendation, get you a discount on, and I'll let your engineer figure out what they need to buy. But I'll just try to give it. It won't be as much of a discount as I was hoping to give because I don't know what you need. But I'll give a general discount for various starship parts, and you can hopefully speed up your repairs a little faster.
I appreciate the offer, but generally this ship ends up staying out of station for extended periods of time. So spending a little bit of time in dock gives the crew some R&R.
Yeah.
So I don't mind taking a little bit longer.
Also, Ferengi are, well,
Yes, Ferengi are
particularly
yes.
observant when it comes to being potentially able to sell information.
Well, you don't tell them what you're giving them. You just give them a shopping list and buy things. You know, don't tell them about the special warp nacelle conversion method or something like that. You just tell them you need a new transferal unit for a plasma conductor. It's, you know, they don't need to know unless they happen to have the schematics. It means nothing to them. I've done it a few times, so.
Unless they're curious enough.
Well, that's what security is for. She nods at you.
I mean,
I'm just taking this from an engineering point of view.
I mean, also from an engineering point of view, your ship designs, especially from what we've heard, is interesting at the very least. So I'm definitely interested in the phase cloak. I don't think we were obviously Tri-Polity with Romulans as well, but I definitely thought that was a no-no.
Well, given that this is, I'll admit, this is a new type of ship that I haven't got to walk around in. I know pretty much, I've served on almost every ship the Federation flew 5 years ago. I'm even familiar with due to certain trades, with the Parliament class and the California class. But this ship, the Achilles class, I mean, it's an NX, so no kidding. Of course, I haven't seen it before. I doubt there's even more than 5 of them in the entire fleet, so it's no wonder we never saw one. So kind of hard to buy intel on a ship that is barely out there. Plus, Pathfinder recon ship. This first time you've gone out this way, I'm not too surprised. But that's why I'd be willing to tell you how I built the phase cloak to learn about the Achilles class. I'm a student of engineering, first off. And besides, I think I'd be able to negotiate with Lord Starrix the benefits of knowing about the Captain Penn's Achilles, so to speak.
Well, I'd be willing to offer you the, say, specifications of a Achilles class. Obviously, I can't give you the exact specifications of my own ship. That would be ridiculous.
Yeah.
But
I had to try.
Oh, of course. Everyone has to try. It's the dance we have to play.
Yeah.
But it's not exactly a secret at this stage. Because again, it's been 5 years.
Well, how about in the spirit of scientific discovery, I'll exchange general concepts of the phase cloak and how I perfected it, but not to any particular space frame. And you can give me a general schematic for what an Achilles class should be like. And then we can do our own little reverse engineering homework when we get back to our respective workshops.
That seems like a reasonable trade to make. Yes, of course it's without the upgrades. I'm giving them the basic model.
Yeah, that was already specifically stated.
Yeah. It's almost like Altera is specifically going, no, I'm not telling you about certain chips like the TNN man, because holy crap, Starrix would freaking kill her.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, you give me the specifications exactly for that ship, please. It's like,
Just give us the shield frequencies while you're at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, if you were going to give it to her, she wasn't going to stop you, but it's like, yeah, I'm not that lucky.
I mean, I've got an interesting game to potentially play with her later as well, in terms of information.
Oh, okay.
What's
I mean, Romulan defector and someone who might know things about Romulan engineering. So, start a sentence and see if she finishes it to see how much she knows.
Okay.
But yeah, that's definitely something we can
Just
do.
for concept.
In the spirit of building a working relationship, shall we say?
She sticks her hand out to you.
Yeah.
Like, she stops in the middle to her, she turns around and just sticks her hand out.
Yeah, I'll shake.
She gives you a nice firm shake and she nods at you. All right, then. I'll draw up the, she taps at her ear. Computer, draw up general Altera phase schematic. I'll save you the baby steps. No, computer. Disregard last. Beta through Delta. Yes, all minor versions. Right. She points at you. To Captain Braglove Pend of U.S.S. Achilles. His biometrics. Yes, I confirm. No, I am not under duress. No, I'm not being mind controlled.
And just starts to chuckle to himself.
She taps her foot. Ramen security guards, I swear to... Yes, I'm fine.
blank
you.
look.
It should be. My shuttle should have sent that to your ship, locked to your biometrics.
Understood. I'll just walk over to. I'm sure there's a cupboard somewhere. I could probably just get a pad from somewhere.
Well, yeah, you're surrounded by your officers, so
Yeah.
why don't they just hand you a pad?
Yeah, I'll hand up a pad, just get the absolute bare bones schematic of what an Achilles is. Like, no extras, no
The
trims.
basic frame, yeah.
And it's like, yeah, here we go.
You're basically giving her like the bit where if we were building the ship, it's like, here's the space frame, not the module like Pathfinder or whatever. It's like just the basic what all Achilles generally have.
Yeah, pretty much. Because
Also,
that's
how
basically
to build manual either.
Yeah. Plus, that's what she's equivalently just gave me. This is what what it is, but I'm not telling you how to do it.
Yeah. Now there's reverse engineering rules that you'll eventually figure it out, but it's like, yeah, but I'm gonna make you do that extended roll. I'm not just gonna make you not do it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's happy to do that little trade.
She
One
nods.
benefit to us is this is explicitly a Federation design, so it's not
that's
necessarily within Tri-Polity lines to recreate. As in, as far as we know, it doesn't seem like something that'd be directly like, hell yeah, let's do it. With Klingon and Romulan influences.
I mean, could you imagine this shit with a goddamn cloak on it?
That'd be horrifying.
Phase cloak, no less.
Mm-hmm.
Was there something Lieutenant Ryloff was gonna do? Like, she seems in a pretty good mood. She did her change. She did her exchange that she wanted.
More just, he has an engineering score of 3, so he's not exactly a slouch on that. But as I said, start on something that is more specifically Romulan engineering and see if she already knows about the idea. Just talking about engineering, but see how much about that.
You don't even have to
style.
roll. She freely admits her knowledge. Like, she just says, "Oh yeah, that system. Oh, I'm familiar with that. Really, real annoying to work with."
Okay. Yeah, it's just more.
Actually, I'll give you even one further. Insight plus engineering difficulty 2. There's extra information you might learn from that, from the way she answers.
Investigative techniques.
Yeah.
Could I assist him? Considering I'm literally stood here listening to this?
Sure.
What a Romulan trait, or is that what's allowing this to happen? Probably.
That's what's allowing this to happen. You're able to. That's why there's even a roll, because you can gauge how much she knows.
Though I would say defector, because he does have the sort of bridge knowledge that she does between Federation and Romulan. It's not just.
I'll give you that.
One angle. Yeah,
I'll give you that. Yeah. Because you're familiar with Starfleet's design, engineering principles,
and language, and he's not entirely fished out of water for it. So, if she says anything Federation, he can actually have a reply. Give you a momentum.
You can spend more if you wish.
Whoops.
Yeah, I could, but it's a diff 1 actually.
Would you allow the focus in mental prowess?
I'd say so.
I'm getting so much goddamn mileage out of that.
Yeah, that's a really.
There is a wall I have in my head. You just haven't hit it.
My God.
You recognize that she is. Remember how she said she's familiar with every class of Starfleet vessel?
Yeah, she means
basically tipping her hand that she has engineering 5 and talents that point her in that direction. Like, she's geared to know engineering. That score is not reduced at all when dealing with Romulan ships. She's just as familiar with them as she is any other ship. Like, she knows how the Daredexes are built. She knows how the scout ships are built. Like, she has intimate knowledge of how they're built and how their systems work, including some of the more classified stuff that she wouldn't know from Starfleet. It's something you would only know if you were serving a Star Navy member or high up in Starfleet intelligence. But some engineer wouldn't know that.
Yeah. It's like, I technically probably shouldn't know some of this.
Yeah. Like, she's filling in blanks where you're like, wait, how do you know that's correct?
It's like, oh, that fits the rumor that was going around well. Lovely.
Well, is there anyone else? Anywhere else you'd like to visit?
The warp core, but that's not happening. So otherwise, no.
Again, I appreciate the attempt.
Eh.
But,
But in that case, Captain, permission to disembark.
permission granted. And I'll point for or signal for Rylov to escort our guest off the ship.
Mm-hmm. A Romulan security.
They have so many security questions. Why is there 5 checks for my biometrics? 2 is enough. And she goes on a rant about it because from an engineering point of view, she finds it redundant, and that annoys her.
Engineering often makes redundant features. This is just security's version.
Are there any final scenes people wish to do before I wrap it up? Because you have dealt with the pressing matter of the episode. But
yeah, I'm going to send a copy of this to the goddamn strategic officer.
Yeah, I'll take that as read.
Oh, Admiral Drennan is going to have such a headache.
If I can
finish repairing my ship.
I was going to say, yeah, if I can, I've just smashed something out for Arlen because, I do have an engineering score. It's probably my responsibility.
You can probably work on the weapons system.
Yeah.
Actually, Ralph, sure. Give me a presence plus security difficulty of 2 to try to help speed the security side of the repairs.
Okay. Determination, second directive.
Yep.
Spend it all.
Oh, yeah. Spend the 5 to get all the dice and just hope that we get a lot.
I mean, it's probably going to be like the last roll of the night, so...
Yeah, true. Tactical systems. And just... Wow! Tragic. I don't keep it either. Wow! 1 second.
We can just squash it, dude.
Don't worry. So I'm trying to actually take some days off of this. Which we did do engineering. Actually, in Past Mistakes Part 2.
Yep.
There was a lot of that. Because that is 3? Yeah, wow. No. Misa no likey. There we go. Didn't keep it again either. Wow. Tragic for me, but that is 4.
Okay, so just for succeeding, 2 days are dropped off.
Oh no, that's 6. I rolled 1 too many dice before anyway. I rolled 1 too many dice at the end anyway, as well. So 1 second. 1, 2, 3, 5. Then we can use the momentum to put more dates into that. Ta-da.
Yeah, we'll spend the last 3.
Yeah.
So 6 knocks down to 6 days.
Which is, yes, we can leave at that time. Are we going to immediately leave at 6 days? Probably not.
Yeah.
Also, Yolan doesn't have to go into engineering to drag you out. You are quite literally ordered off the damn ship.
Yep.
Whoops. Wrong one. I keep forgetting I have 2 lounges. Actually, 1 final scene. And actually, I know what to do with this.
Just to take over for them. That's probably how Penn gets them off the bridge or off the ship is, nope, Rylov knows what he's doing. You leave.
But...
Don't make me drag you off the ship.
No, that's Yolan's job.
Their job, huh?
So the cadets are having a nice little chat, and they're enjoying themselves and talking about the cool mystery. And oh man, how did you get away with that? That's bull crap, I don't know. I did this thing where I looked into that. You didn't look for the purloined letter. Ah, I should have looked for that. So on and so on. Basically, a bunch of nerds nerding out about a mystery novel.
Basically.
Captain Penn goes to return to Commander Jashu.
Big Ben.
Though I imagine you ask her to meet you somewhere else, so she's, because you know a lot of your officers are milling around in there.
Yeah, probably like a different bar or somewhere, not where everyone is.
Yeah. No, I happen to like this bar. There's 10 bars on this station. Please let me go to a different one. Where the fudge are you, officer? There you are. Lieutenant Arlen. Yolan is kind of waiting for you at the bar. Waves at you.
I've literally been ordered here by my captain. What did you do?
Nothing. Though I now owe him a gift, so. So how's engineering? Heard you're busy.
Yeah, pretty much. Having to rebuild the entire our computer system almost from the superstructure up. And apparently we had some sort of diplomatic guests come on board.
Yeah, I heard that she got a tour of the ship.
Yeah, apparently the captain was quite upset at such things. We had to cover all the screens and such.
Huh. I must, I wonder why they wanted to, well, I guess it's a new ship and all that. They don't get to see new ships anymore.
Tactical security, some such. Foreign, she's a foreign or dignitary, and we didn't want to show her all of our new toys.
Well, did you have fun anyway? I mean, despite all the hard work.
Oh, I've been having a blast. You know me. Been spending 22 hours a day in there. I think a few times Cadet Zeph has found me sleeping in a Jeffrey's tube.
You're not supposed to be sleeping in there, you know that. It's not good for you. Bad for your health. I want you to be healthy so you live a nice long life.
Getting this ship back together is good for my health, though.
Your health is good for your health. I want you sacrificing your blood and sweat into that engine. You have a life beyond the ship, you know.
Yes, I do. Like among the stars.
Or with me.
Suppose you can come along too. So what have you been up to for the past couple all days?
Oh,
Any
been looking.
special stars you've been looking at?
No, not really. I mean, a lot of still waiting on stuff from the Karuk. I have a friend over there that I've been trying to get more data out of. Apparently, they found some new. They haven't gone very far from the border, so they haven't really been looking at any new things for me to look at. So, I am hoping to collaborate with them on something once they start looking at more exotic star systems. And heck, that last mission, that was. Well, I mean, anything really. I mean, the most interesting was that system with the wormhole in it. I mean, that was just wow. I mean, wait a minute. You hear from across the bar. You saw a wormhole? Yeah? Great big wormhole just out of nowhere.
Oh no.
Like, where did you see a wormhole? Oh, out in the Shackleton Expanse among a bunch of storms. It's amazing. And it just gone. Just gone, says Altera. She kind of furrows her brow. Okay, she looks back to her drink and okay, drinks her coffee, thinking that Yolan is out of his mind and just
Would
dismisses it.
I recognize Tira Altera?
You do now, yep. Now that she spoke up.
Oh no.
She's not in the... Actually... I just forgot how young your... how long's your character been in the Starfleet? Like, I think you just came in at, like, when the Achilles, right? Like, you were an ensign back then?
Lieutenant junior grade. And so I've been in for like 7 years at this point.
You recognize her as an instructor at the academy. Because she was there for a while before she joined the Tri-Polity.
Oh my
Oh, that's amazing.
goodness.
Oh no.
But it dawns on you because the reason you didn't recognize her because she's not in the uniform. If you remember her in the DS9 era uniform, not in the regalia she's walking around in.
What did she teach?
She specifically taught. She taught classes in electroplasma power systems, warp field dynamics, and reverse engineering.
So I probably took a lot of her classes. And nudge Yolan.
What?
I think that was one of my instructors at the academy.
You think? Altera doesn't look up. She's enjoying her coffee and seems to be taking a nice break between the other things she's doing on the station.
So I've never seen her outside of uniform. Or outside of San Francisco, so that's a thing.
Excuse me, do I know you? And she looks at the officer next to her who's kind of annoyed that she's shouting across him. And she's like, oh, sorry. And she kind of walks over a little closer. Guy goes, I'm just going to take my time off somewhere else where people don't shout in my ear.
I slap Yolan's elbow, slightly annoyed.
What? What did I do? Is that a common... I don't think that's a common Boolean thing, unless it's a new thing. Anyway, do we know each other? I feel like I should know who you are. I'm sorry.
Did you happen to teach at Starfleet Academy about 10 years ago?
10 years
75?
ago? 75? I mean, I taught a bit, yeah. More in 77, 76.
Yeah, I graduated in 77.
Oh. Looks at your uniform, looks at you. Well, I didn't teach security. Well, I did an ethics course once, but
Ethics course goes a long way in security. No, I'm a engineer. I took some advanced engineering courses.
No, sorry. Apologies, I'm seem to be rather bad with names today. Well, you seem to be doing well. You're a lieutenant, so I must have taught you something right anyway.
I was the kid who did the transphotonic radiator for his final project. Can I give an assist?
Sure.
This is so silly.
Presence plus engineering.
Yes, heavens forbid you say your name.
Hey.
I want to remember me.
Oh, you're Rick Arlen. I remember now. You kept breaking your model kits for some reason. It's like you kept trying to make them. You made a Warp 1 engine try to do Warp 2 when the assignment was to make it do Warp 1.
You're
You're lucky that was on a holodeck. You could have really hurt yourself.
Hey, I got it to Warp 1.7.
By jury-rigging a tricorder into the manifold assembly? Not exactly Starfleet issue. I hope you got out of that habit.
I'm just more careful what I jury rig with.
Yeah, you're a Starfleet engineer. So what are you doing here? Are you just passing through, or?
No, we're here on a assignment.
We're here? Looks at the civilian Yolan. He just waves. Hi. Hello. I'm Yolan. Nice to meet you.
Sorry, I should introduce. This is Yolan, my partner.
Oh, do you do a business together? As Altera completely misses it. Love interest, dear. Oh, I'm sorry. I should have picked up on that. Congratulations, she shrugs. Thank you. Oh.
Thank you.
So,
yes, as he's astrophysicist from University of Berkeley, and he's out here in the Shackleton Expanse.
Oh wow. Where'd you graduate from? Altair gives him a look. The Mars Institute of Technology. Oh, and Yolan very politely looks at his cup and begins to drink at it.
Wait a second. That means there are 2 MITs.
Yep.
Yes.
Or one of them moved.
But she's hinting that she was enlisted, not an officer. And some people mind when you point that out. She doesn't. She just kind of says it and carries on. So are those your students over there gossiping over some sort of novel?
A few of them are. At least one of them.
Oh, you're on the Achilles then. Oh, good for you. It's a fine ship. I had a chance to look around.
So I've heard.
Oh, great. I'm famous. Well.
It's not often that a diplomatic tour happens on a ship. News travels fast.
I suppose. Well, I won't bother anymore. I'll let you two have your fun. Arlen, tell your chief engineer that they're doing a pretty good job. They could do better, but you know.
White knuckle holding Yolan's hand.
Roll presence plus command to get Yolan not to blab, because he totally will. Because he wants to brag about how his husband is this cool guy who's the chief engineer.
I don't have a focus in this.
Diff 1, he'll listen to you. You just have to get him to clue in to, dude, shut up. Stop saying things.
You know what? Let's just go for it. This will be funny.
Hey.
There you go.
It's a nat 1.
Yolan yelps for a second, and Altair gives him a look and nods and lets you be.
Look, I would have gotten it if I hadn't fallen in the canal.
Why were you in the canal? Well, remember that footprint thing?
I tripped, okay?
Wait, you tripped? How'd you jump into a canal?
You're supposed to be in the boat.
And that will be the end of the episode.